2, 1, go.
And we are...
What's up,
End the
fuckers?
stream.
Hi, guys.
After 2 hours of waiting, we are
Holy
finally
shit, it's a
here.
shit cast. Look at all these fuckers with...
Actually, I think it was more like 3 hours of waiting, Cody.
Okay.
Don't forget, we wanted to start this around 1, but Dakota was asleep, so
I
it's
blame
more
you.
like 4 hours of
So
waiting.
you know what? Yeah, I blame Dakota.
Fuck off.
I vote we blame Dakota, and therefore...
All in favor,
I triple that
all in
notion.
favor, say yay.
Yay.
Yay. The yays have it.
Dakota, say yay.
The yays have it. Dakota, it's your fault. Anyway, welcome to Nerds and Nuisances. That name I'm stupidly proud of. And
This is a bit...
Devin will enjoy. This is D&D.
This is...
Finally!
This is actually our first thing together on this channel.
Besides,
And
Cards
for one of
Against
us in
Humanity,
this group, it is
No,
their
that was
first
on-
time in a
that was on the
D&D
older one.
campaign. So,
This channel only has
Is this a different nerd
GTA.
thing?
yeah, I made another one because I wanted to try to do some stuff for the nerd and stuff. I'm like, okay, so I need a platform to practice on. I'll just make a second one attached to my account.
Oh no, we had this one that was attached to your account, but it got lost. Then you finally got back into it.
Oh, trying to fucking
dumbass.
brilliant. Anyway,
Cody's already gone.
We are here to tell a tale of dragons. Probably not, but blood and gore.
Very much gore.
Very much gore.
I forgot the name of Devin's
Yeah, well,
character
that's gonna be a
anyway.
dragon.
Gurk. We are here to tell the tale of Gurk and company.
Anyway,
and
I guess we
Hell
should introduce our cast and their character. And their characters.
I gotta go first.
We'll start off with Devin.
Hi. I control Gurk, the wielder of the magical god sword. Off to the magical god sword, Addison.
Oh, dear Lord. I'm playing a sword spirit, and my lovable oaf is going to be my great fucking battle partner. And I'm a dark weapon, so think Soul Eater and transforming and shit.
Since I'm the farthest of the
Alright,
group.
Dakota, you're next.
Now, if I'm the farthest of the group, go Kenny, because since I'm the newest to D&D.
Over to Kenneth.
Not me yet.
I'm gonna be playing a green dragon called Namrus Dog.
He's got this.
Should have picked a name I could pronounce.
Why'd you name it complicated?
You just...
Name generator. True for dragons.
Why?
I don't know. I couldn't think
Dragon
of one.
generator.
Okay, my
If we're being
character's
honest here,
name
I
is...
use the D&D
Your character's
randomizer
name
as
is
well.
Bertha.
Are you
Dakota.
actually naming me Bertha? I am Bertha, the
I am
sword
the
spirit.
baddie boy for D&D, and my character is Dane Wolfheim. I am basically just a Dark Souls protagonist.
He's an enkindled, so he's the
I'm
fire
an
mage
enkindled
with...
kindler. Fear me.
Except this motherfucker's got
And
seven
I am your humble DM.
humble.
Humble, he
Humble,
says.
I am
heard
going to make
stories.
your lives a living nightmare.
Kirk.
And now,
And with that, we've lost Kenny. Onward we travel.
It's just like the first time we did this. Only this time it's only.
Are they gonna
only
get
this time
possessed
around.
again? Am I gonna get ripped off of...
Wait,
Gurk.
Gurk gets possessed. When
I'm just gonna fucking possess him back. Fuck you.
Honestly,
It's a battle of It's a battle of possession. Who possesses better? Anyway.
It's fucking me. He's my fucking contract wielder.
Anyway.
Soon,
I think we all just want to get into that sweet, delicious.
I wish to
Cam-
swing Bertha.
So,
I hate it.
without
It's fucking
further
great.
dudes, ladies and
Ladies and flies.
ladies and flies, I welcome
Ladies,
you
gentlemen,
to
and flies of all
Nerds and
ages.
Nuisances, the Silver Knights. The party has been walking for about 3 weeks now. In your possession, a small envelope with a seal that looks like a silver coin. You enter the woods. As you walk, the fog starts setting, thicker and thicker, to the point where you can't see more than a foot in front of you. Party, you interact in here?
So we're all together, correct?
Right now, you have all met up already by this point, and you're all traveling together.
I'm going to subtly admire the Goliath next to me.
I'm holding you, aren't I?
No, I'm still walking. Unless we're contracted before this, but we didn't agree on that.
Oh, okay.
So I am admiring his muscles.
Toe. Oh, that's probably a fun thing to mention. My Goliath is 8'4",
And I am 5'10".
The second, the
He's
second
3
tallest
feet
character
taller than
in the
me.
campaign.
And I am the size of a panther.
All right, Dakota, what are you doing right now? Everyone's just kind of in a foggy forest.
But other than that,
I have a question.
forward.
I have a question mainly for Devin and DM. Would my dark vision work in the fog?
No.
Okay.
Fog is obscured vision.
Okay.
Same with blind sight.
So you guys just kind of keep walking straight? What do you guys do here? Do you just walk straight?
I just walk.
Dirk
has letters telling him where to go. Let's go.
Right. As you walk through the fog, it eventually parts into a clearing. But something is odd about this clearing.
I can see clearly now.
The
fog
Gurk is gone.
Gurk is here.
Fucking hell, this is gonna be great.
Just a minute, but something about this clearing is off. 1 minute ago, the fog was so thick you couldn't see in front of you. But now it's gone. In the middle of this clearing is an old, rancid, ran down shack.
I would like to knock on the shack.
Do you knock on the shack?
I knock on the door for the shack.
The
I stay
door
back.
powders.
Ah, fuck.
I'd like to go look around the property.
I creep up
No,
behind Gurk.
Devin, roll me a strength check.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Dev, roll me a
That's
strength
crazy,
check.
guys.
Alright. 13.
You managed to knock the door off the hinges.
Way to go, Gurk.
I would like to just stare at the door. And walk in.
Can I roll perception?
On the entire place? Yeah. Feel free to roll perception.
I mean, I was mainly talking about inside, but if
Oh,
we're going
well.
for the entire place, I'll go.
I
for
didn't
the
know what you were
entire
talking
place.
about. I was trying to figure out what you were talking about. So, on inside, or are you doing the whole place?
We'll just do the whole place.
All right, whole clearing.
13.
There's this rundown shack has a lot definitely wrong with it on the outside. It's falling apart.
It's missing a door.
It's missing a door. The chimney at itself on the side of the shack is at an angle, literally hanging on by what looks like duct tape.
Can I attempt to gently shove the entire building?
Do you attempt to gently shove the entire?
I'm doing that.
Roll a strength check.
22. Gently, gents.
The whole building shifts ever so slightly.
Hell yeah. I'm
The
strong,
chimney
boy.
falls over and breaks.
I'd like
I don't
to,
think that was me.
I'd like to touch the stoneworking of the chimney to decipher the age. Because of my stone.
Is it
knowledge.
stonework or is it?
It technically would be stoneworking because
Is that
it is made of stone.
I mean, technically, yeah. It's just
It's
a
a stone
history
structure.
check.
It's just a history
It is a
check to see
door.
how old the place is and how long it's been there.
All right, roll me an intelligence check.
That's a d20.
I thought you just told me it was a nat 20. I'm sitting here like,
1.
Getting good roll.
He not failed.
it's old stone.
This stone has been around for more than 1 year.
I'd like to point out,
Wow.
I have a wisdom of 12 and a.
What's the intelligence?
My intelligence is 17 with a 3
Oof.
to increase it.
So
So like
But that was just,
That's still a
just
critical fail.
That's just a kick to the dick.
Anyway, you walk in.
Hi, I'm inside.
The ever so slightly shifted building.
Is it leaning to the left?
On
now?
entering
You
the
don't
shack,
even have to open
you
the
find
door.
it's an old magic shop. But the shelves are all but bare, except for a few crystal balls.
I'm rolling a fucking Arcana check.
I was gonna roll a perception check.
22.
This whole place is swimming in magic energy.
Oh hell yeah!
Like,
Can I swim? I would like to leap into the air and attempt to swim.
roll me an intelligence check.
That's
Christ.
Why is this based off intelligence?
3.
That's why.
Sure enough, randomly, your giant friend suddenly belly flops to the ground, trying to.
I hear
Butterfly
the-
stroke. Butterfly.
So are we all inside, or is it just at the moment?
Sir,
is it just
sir, what are
Gherkin?
you doing?
Swimming through the magics.
I don't think that works.
Was the contract worth it?
There's no contract yet.
Not yet. I thought.
It sounds like they haven't done it
We
yet.
haven't met yet.
Oh, okay.
Like we're just
We're all just
A
kind of
party.
like. We're all just kind of like.
we're just walking
skeptical.
toward. We have the same letter.
Who are you?
And Gick.
This is gonna
Oh,
be a great
this was
fucking.
such a good idea.
This is gonna be a great fucking campaign.
This is gonna be a great stream.
Hello, Kirk.
Hi. I would like to get up and attempt to give you a hug.
Oh no.
I'm gonna go into my sword.
I would like to give your sword a hug.
Wait, does he know that you're a sword?
I mean, he disappeared and all that's left is a sword. So I'm giving the sword a hug.
I want to use telepathy and say, "Put me down, you oaf."
How did you speak to me, oh magic sword?
I just look at Kenny's character with the most utmost confusion.
Names.
I can't see his name, and I don't fucking want to try and pronounce it without seeing it.
I was about to say, okay, Kenny, first of all, let me actually see your name. Talking about your trying to like.
Can
I
you
look at
please
Ram's
create a less complicated name?
I'm gonna reproject myself like 10 feet away and
Can we just shorten Kenny's name to Namri?
ask for my sword back.
Think of that sword.
Anyway,
Shorten it to Namri, Kenny.
the shelves are
It
all
starts
but bare,
floating.
except
Oh,
for a
there.
few crystal balls, books,
Name changed to
and
Namri.
some old bottles of unknown substances. Beyond
I'm
that,
gonna drink it.
Excuse me, Goliath.
So
what
you're
dirt
drinking.
was it?
So are you just grabbing this potion and
I found potion filled with substance. I would like to pick it up and examine it,
examine it?
and very likely immediately drink it.
Do you how? Give me the time frame. Does Girk really examine it, or does he look
Not
at it? Not
really.
Even, okay. So you drink
Kirk,
it.
see
He examines it long
So you
enough to
pretty
pull
much-
the cork.
Okay. So you
He
drink
found
this
the
potion.
opening.
Roll me a Constitution.
I have that.
No, you don't.
18. Oh wait, Constitution save 20. Why are you opening?
I. Girk miraculously is fine, despite.
Just downing a random ass potion.
Can I roll a perception check to look for any good items in there?
Sure.
That's
Yeah.
what is the addition for perception?
I mean-
Perception is intelligence, I guess?
Oh,
Wisdom.
wisdom. Okay. I was about to say.
And if you have a proficiency, that too.
Oh, I do have proficiency in it.
But
D20?
while
I
this
hate.
is,
Didn't
while this
both
is happening,
times? Did you not? Didn't
No,
you?
I failed it last
Oh,
time.
that's right. You fucking killed yourself.
while this is happening, I turn to this giant and just say, "What are you?"
I'm good.
I
So perception.
wish to study
checks.
you.
What's your-
I'm
Oh, I
good.
rolled an 8 plus perception check.
Is that all Gurk says?
So plus your
wisdom.
I'm Gurk.
I don't
Roll
know
an
what
eight.
you're trying to study,
But I have this skill.
but I'm
Oh.
good,
Perception check.
and I would like to give you another hug.
What's the plus to that, Devin? It's just +1, right?
for what?
If you have the skill for it.
It's +2.
+2? So 10. From what you can see, there is nothing worthwhile here, except maybe the potions.
They are safe.
Because apparently Gurk drank it and it's fine.
Take the potions.
It
You
makes
take the
my tummy
potions?
happy.
We'll take-
Congratulations,
Take the
you
potions.
obtained 3 potions of unknown substance.
It
They're
makes my
purely for
tummy
Gurk.
happy.
Could I use a perception check to see if there was any sign of struggle for this destroyed building?
It doesn't take much to see that it's mostly aged. It's taken this place apart.
So I vote we move on.
Yeah.
One of those potions, because you did pick up the 3 that were there, one of those potions, the substance within it is much darker.
I drink that one.
I hand it to Gurk.
You hand it to Gurk.
I hand it to Gurk.
Looks like it's
Does
2
Gurk
potions.
attempt to drink this?
He trusts the magic sword, right?
Magic sword tells me to drink. I drink. Let's bottoms up.
That sounds about right, Gurk. God damn it.
Gurk,
Gurk.
I want you to roll
My
me
treasures.
It was the one that you didn't pick.
Constitution.
It was you still pick. It was the one that you didn't pick.
Do I want to look?
Ha!
Cody, wasn't it a potion that
He's dead now.
11.
Gurk, you suddenly feel really, really good.
It makes my tummy very happy.
Everything around you starts slowly changing colors.
Oh boy.
Did Gurk just ingest liquid LSD?
I would like to give the magic sword another hug.
I am going to attempt to run.
Come back, magical rainbow.
I looked,
Mother always said love was the best greeting.
I looked to Gurk. Gurk, would you like any medical herbs?
I would like to give you a hug.
Please no, Gurk.
Roll to hug.
Strength check.
Strength check.
9,
Dakota, roll me a dexterity.
14,
12.
18.
You are unable to escape the Gurk as this giant all of a sudden wraps you in a very tight hug.
It was so
I
nice
struggle
to
to
me.
say, Gurk, please let me go. Can't breathe.
Gurk is sorry. Does not let go. No, I released you.
It's okay, Gurk.
You do anything else besides trying to deal with
I don't
the...
know. I'm apparently tripping on acid.
I
I'm
vote-
following the magic sword.
I don't like turn this more, but apparently I can't get any more like
I
leeway
vote
off
we
the
should
board.
try to
Dakota's
move
too
on
high.
from this house.
So do you move forward through this?
Start going in the
Yeah.
forest. Follow me, buddy.
The trees are purple.
Why do you keep opening random tab?
As you...
Away with you. Okay.
So you leave and continue through the forest?
Mm-hmm.
As you continue through the forest, you approach another clearing. This building has a toppled chimney. It looks like the structure has leaned slightly to the left.
I wish to push it.
I would like to knock on the door.
Weirdly enough, this door appears to already be knocked in.
I wish to find another door.
I look to the party and suggest that we have been here before.
But the building's a different color.
I roll perception.
Gurk, you are currently tripping.
No, I am standing.
That one. What do I see, God? What do I see?
Roll on that one.
Butterfly.
I see a butterfly
Where's
at
the
the dead of night.
I walk inside.
Hey, Gurk walks back inside the building. What do you guys do?
I follow Gurk inside.
I
Follow Gurk inside.
I stay outside the main door and keep an eye around the surroundings.
To those who went back in the shop, to the front of the store, there's the counter. There are small rusty daggers and bows with wood so rotten, looks like it'll fall apart as soon as you touch it.
I want to touch it.
You grab the bow.
Yes.
and turns to powder before you even touch it.
Oh,
Can we get the string?
There's the bowstring, sure enough, is still on the ground.
I'm gonna add it to my inventory.
The moment you pick up the string, it also disappears.
Okay, I'm rolling perception again. 20. What do I see, God?
You turn directly to your left, and not even a foot from your face is a very short old lady.
can I give you a hug?
I hear this from outside and step inside. What is happening in here?
Hey, Gert.
I want to give the old lady a hug.
Gert, we don't
Gert,
get a
I
chance to
walk up
powder.
to the old lady, arms
Gert,
open.
Roll
Whoa.
a dexterity check.
Oh,
No.
7.
Girk, you don't even get close before you all of a sudden get very dizzy and the colors start turning darker.
I can't see. Sword, help me. Help.
What's your character's name even?
Gurk.
No, ask Addison's
Name
name.
is
What's Addison's
He is
character?
Sword.
exactly.
I am Sword.
Is that literally your name is just Sword?
I don't
doesn't
have a name.
He's nameless.
I'm just going to pretty much walk around feeling around.
Alright, so we're just going to ignore Girk as he's stumbling through
I
the
talked to
store.
the lady.
Hello, strangers. Welcome to my abode.
We've already stolen a lot from you.
I'm sorry about the door.
You can't have the potion effect at mine.
I also
I drank
knocked over
two.
I also knocked over the chimney.
You wouldn't be the first one.
Hell yeah.
I'd say you're the 8,525th.
Ooh boy.
I don't
That's a big
know
number.
how
However,
to count
the
that
big
far.
brute landing and swimming in the air was on the ground was new. That's what I had not seen before.
It's Gert.
Butterfly stroke.
I saw a butterfly.
I'm sorry for my party members.
Can I have my sight back?
What brings you young ones to my shop?
I have a letter. I'd like to present the letter to whatever is in front of me.
You present it to a dead turtle.
I grab Gert by
Oh.
the shoulder and turn him to the old lady.
I have a letter.
Ah, the mark of the Silver Guardians. You must be the ones I was told about. She moves slowly to one side of the counter and opens the door, allowing you to step behind it.
I'm just
I-
gonna.
Gertz, the colors have started not being so dark.
Hooray!
However, now everything is, well,
Dark.
Gurky.
dot.
What?
Everything is now basically a dot in your vision.
I still cannot see.
I grab Gert by the shoulders. Come on, big fella, and I walk him through the door.
How are you getting to his shoulders? You're a...
I was
I'm
about to
jump-
say.
Grab him by the hips.
Are you
Hips. No, I grab him by his leg. There we go. Come
gonna
on.
grab my thought?
Which
Come
one?
on, Gert.
Well, just got him by his hand.
Third leg.
I don't wish to
Please,
have my
come
arm
this
crushed.
True. That is good.
I do not wish
I
to
The
imagine
lady
I'm
then
going to
walks
hit-
through this door, down this corridor, continuing on. With
I imagine I hit my head on the corridor.
Gerg, roll a dexterity check with disadvantage.
Oh no.
Oh, that's not too bad. 14.
You kind of... You stupidly managed to duck your head down, but managed to knock the top of your head on the doorframe as you stumble through. Kind of managing to find some source of brain power.
I
No.
did it. Guys, my head hurts.
Great.
Come
That's
on,
okay,
Eric.
And he's blind.
Come on, Gert.
Follow
voice
the
of
old
magic
woman
sword.
down this long
Follow
corridor,
the magic sword.
lit only by
Magic
candles.
sword.
Soon you arrive at a room. In this room, there is a single iron door.
I want to knock on it.
You knock on the door.
I knock on the door.
Roll a strength check.
Oh,
Please,
yes,
nat 20.
Daddy.
I want this.
How does he see the
That's
door
not
if he's
another
blind?
12.
You knock on the wall because you still can't see.
What was that strength?
Because if you had hit the door,
They would have heard.
I knock on the door.
Oh, be glad it wasn't the door. Because if you got any higher, you'd have broken through the wall. doesn't open. In fact, there's no handle on the door.
I'm legally blind.
I tell Girk to punch the wall.
What wall? I punch.
Within this room, there is also a singular iron box. I don't know why I didn't put that on the note. For
I do not
okay.
see the box.
I'm gonna open the box.
I do not see.
The old lady points to it as you open it. All of your gear and your armor, please deposit it into the box.
Do I have to leave my loincloth?
Anything that is not closed, you don't have to pick off. Just
I wish to leave my loincloth. No.
I look at the lady and I say, "Just hear me out." And walk into my sword.
She just merely kind of looks at you. And just kind of nods.
I come back out and I'm just like, okay.
So all of this gear is now gone. And the potions.
All right. Do not actually delete your gear. This is very important.
I figured not to.
Alright, well, I kept the weapons. That's the only
Also,
important
real
part.
quick, Cody, I have something I needed to ask you. The potion that Chris drank, the black one.
I hear Devin over there click-clacking on his keyboard, and I'm like, wait a minute.
No, I'm
That's
wondering
not-
because
Hold on.
you said there was a random potion from the 3 that you didn't take.
Check the audio. He says she can't hear us.
Yeah. So it's
Just you. It's probably. What? Check actual well, mic is on. Thank God. I can see it's like responding.
Yeah?
yeah.
Yeah? The
Yeah.
stream can hear.
I think your phone
It
might
could be a
messing
little
up.
louder. 'Cause that was max volume.
Do you want to jump in there
Oh.
and tweak it up just a bit, Kenny?
Yeah, it's my mouse.
But while Kenny's doing the adjustments, Kenny.
What's your question?
So when Kenny took the 3 potions earlier, you said there was a
I drank
random
one.
one. There was a. Did you actually drink one of Kenny's, or was it one of the random? Was it another
was-
potion that was
it
just?
It was one of the
It
candies.
was one of the 3. It was
Okay.
the one that was the only out of the
'Cause the way you
3. There
said-
was one. There was.
This
darker.
was my happy
Okay.
juice.
And now Devin's
And now I'm
unfortunately
blind.
facing
The way
the
he said it, I
consequences.
understood.
Yeah, no, I didn't really hear it. So I was.
Alright, so you guys put your gear in the box.
I reluctantly put my gear in the box.
Once the final piece of gear besides the sword is placed in there, the door abruptly swings open into another corridor. This one a lot narrower than the last.
I walk in.
You walk in
Follow the magic sword
Where is the magic sword?
through this door.
Magic
door?
con!
I walk.
You know what?
I walk
Sound of my
over.
voice.
I just sigh, and I say, "Hold out your hand."
I hold out my hand.
I float my sword over to him and walk into it, and just start telepathically telling him everything around him.
So,
No.
you guys enter.
This is what it feels like.
You guys enter. Do all of you enter?
Yes.
Enter.
Alright,
I
so all of
follow
you have
suit.
entered. The moment the last of you have entered, which one of you do you think is the last of you?
Probably Girk.
Dirk? So you-
Yes,
so
seeing
you-
as how he's the big.
so you two
giant
team
blind
at the last
big
one?
demon.
Yeah.
The moment you two enter, the door swings shut. And now it is completely dark.
Also, you can leave the door open since I think we're fairly done with the loudness.
I'll leave
It is now completely dark.
Because
That's
of,
okay.
because of my dark vision, I'm able to see through the
Girk
darkness.
can
Same.
still see.
Girk! I don't have night vision.
You have me.
You have
Oh, yeah.
the telepathy being told to you because you're still blind.
You're still blind. You don't even check for night vision.
All right.
Yeah, the other two was.
No, that's the joke.
Progressing forward a little more, the candles along the corridor suddenly. There's only probably one candle every mile, it feels like, almost.
Okay.
Girk.
Girk can't see them anyway. I can't either because I have blind sight right
As you. After walking for what feels like forever, you can hear the sound of steam and the sound of clanking metal. Then you are engulfed in a bright, blinding light before finding yourself standing in a station platform. Large machines pulling out with carriages behind them. All of them having different emblems and logos on them.
call out to see if anybody is around.
There are people.
I'm here.
Can Girk see by now?
Everything's kind of gray, but Gert can make out everything around him now.
I'm colorblind.
I recast my physical body.
So, you guys are now in the station. What do you do?
Also, I'll let Girk keep holding the sword for now.
Magic sword.
Magic sword.
Magic sword.
Can you roll perception for me?
Magic
Rolling
sword.
perception.
He still doesn't understand how the sword works, and it's funny.
I swing it and it does damage.
Kenny, you've been too quiet, so I'm giving you this.
13. Oh, no, 14. Because plus 2 for the perception.
At the end of the platform, it looks like it goes from relatively well maintained to a little more dilapidated. Sitting on the more run-down platform, however, is probably the fancier engine out of all of the ones there. Long and silver.
Ooh, fancy engine.
On its tender is the same logo that is on the envelope. Hitched to the back of it are 2 coaches, one of which has someone standing in front of it, their hat over their eyes.
I want to give him a hug.
You start approaching this individual with intent to hug.
Yes.
As you get closer,
Hi,
the man
Anchor.
all of a sudden pulls a massive rifle from his back.
I
Without
honestly
missing
thought
a
it was
beat
3
and-
Ruperts in a trench coat.
Without missing a beat and pointing it directly at you, telling make one more step and it might be your last.
Girk, show him the
But I
envelope.
want a hug.
I exit my sword, and in front of him, and he's an oaf.
He
Excuse
No,
me.
steps
I'm a
back
jerk.
a bit, and then, upon seeing you walk out of the sword, he
Now
puts
keep
his
in
gun
mind,
back behind his
if
back.
he saw me exit or enter wherever, I was just about 30 feet that way.
He had his- I don't know.
I know, but if he looked like he had just seen Girk, right? Or
Well,
did he
the
watch
lumbering.
Girk walk up?
Gert walked up. I'm
If-
very
if he-
close to hugging
if
him.
Gert was walking up to hug him.
If he watched Girk walk up, he probably saw a suit of armor fall in the background. Because that's exactly what happens when I won't go too far away from my sword. So yes, I exit in front of him and be like, "Excuse him.
He's an idiot.
He's an oaf."
No, I'm a Goliath.
Upon hearing the commotion, a young lady with pink hair steps out of the rear coach.
I don't see pink.
To Gert. A young lady with hair steps out of the...
Oh, the young lady with hair. Good clarification, Cody.
Thank you, Cody.
Sorry. It's way too easy. She steps out of the rear coach. What is with all the noise out here?
He won't let me give him a hug.
I step next to Girk
She
and look at
stands
her.
there looking legitimately dumbfounded.
I step next to Girk and look at the lady. I apologize for our buffoon.
Also, one thing to note about my character is I'm very flashy with my sword in case of I kind of just circle it around me rather than just having it lazily hover. So, I
thought I'm holding it.
you are holding it, but I yank it out of your
Am I
hand.
circling around you?
I yank,
I feel like I'm swimming in the end.
I yank it out of my hand as it kind of swirls behind her, back around to behind me. And I'm
Magic
just like,
sword!
excuse us, we're just kind of trying to figure out where to go. We have this envelope.
You pull out the envelope. Show it to Led. Let me find my point. Because I was laughing and I scrolled.
Oh no. Got
Sure.
lost in statements.
So, there we go. That's the letter. So, upon showing him the letter, he just kind of nods and steps aside, revealing the door to the train, now open. Like, go ahead and step in.
And Girk, no trying to hug the man again. Come on.
But Mother always said hugs were the best way to greet people.
I float my sword into my hand and put it on my back.
train.
I get on the train and present the man with another hug.
It slowly starts going. The man starts slowly going for his gun again before the young lady slaps him upside the head. Will you behave yourself? He pouts and climbs on board. Once everyone's on, the door slams shut with plenty of hissing. The locomotive pulls out.
Like a snake.
While all of you are upon entering the coach, it's rather nice inside, despite the platform it was parked in. It has blue leather all over the place, even a small mini bar near one end of the train.
I would go, but
Not that it matters to anybody here, except maybe Gur.
Gark is still recovering from the last thing he drank.
I step up to the bar and order a drink.
That's
No,
a
there's
dwarf
just-
for you.
There's just bottles.
There's just
Bottles.
I ask for a bottle of ale.
A small bottle of elven ale slowly falls off the shelf and
Oh,
lands right in front
that's
of you.
fighting
Perfect.
words.
Perfectly.
What?
You hear
Said
quiet
fighting
laughter
words
from a
in elven ale.
You hear quiet laughter from someone as the man with the gun steps around the bar. Sorry, that's all that's on stock right now. I was the last one to reload the train.
I look at him with slight annoyance, but nod and take the ale
I was
anyways.
about to say, he looks down at you. It's free booze. Are you really going to whine?
Thought it was ale.
He really is. He just kind of looks, while the young lady suddenly starts losing it. He sits down on one of the seats. I guess introductions are in order.
I'm Girk.
I have gathered. My name is Led. I'm the tactical officer for the Knights. It's a pleasure to meet you.
I am Dane
Good to meet
Wolfheim.
you.
Pleasure to meet you as well, sir.
Hi.
Yes.
For easiest sake, I changed the name to Namri.
Memory?
Yeah,
Name
It was a suggestion from me just so it was
because he was
like,
having trouble
horrid
saying the name.
Try and say it.
I think everybody was.
I was even.
Exactly.
That was
Why
what
Why
he
did you go with...
That's why I said make it simpler and just shorter.
Anyway.
Because it was the one that
After
was
recovering, the young lady stands up. Little red in the face, but she's better.
I don't see red.
To enter.
Hi, Mom.
Restraining. It's okay, we're just letting you know in advance.
It's all good.
It's D&D. We just started. No, we were waiting.
No, we were.
I was
We
dead.
had to wait for Dakota
Dakota.
to wake up.
I was dead. I tried
Anyway.
staying up for it. I did. I couldn't. I gave out.
But the young lady stands next to Led and bows. My name's Melody. I'm one of the bards for the guild. Led takes off his act, revealing the pointed ears of an elf, setting it aside. Now, I bet you guys are probably wondering about your gear. He points to a box, which opens, revealing gear. A lot of gear. Anything you guys might need, it's in there. This is your guys's.
This is all.
This is your gear. This is your guys' stuff.
I didn't put
You're exempted.
I grabbed my weaponry.
one like last
I
time.
grab all of my random shit.
I grab my armor and my weaponry and back off, giving mean looks to the elf that has just revealed himself to me.
He doesn't say much else after that, clearly feeling the look in your eyes as he steps back to where he was, leaning against the train.
I walk up to Led, sword kind of just following behind me. So, what are we doing here?
Well, first thing we're doing is we're waiting. No, okay. The first thing we're doing is making sure our fucking notes don't disappear on us. Which I am no longer in the right place.
You know, you had
There we go. All right. What?
Said, so what are we doing here?
Well, I could tell you, but it's not honestly my place. My job is to get you guys to the guild house. My boss will explain everything else once we get there.
He just a common train, dude.
Alright, in that case, I'm just gonna wait and lay myself against the wall and just crawl into my sword until we get there.
I'm going to sit in front of the sword.
And staring.
You're just staring at the sword.
Yes.
I'm gonna curl up underneath the seat.
I'm gonna take a seat, keeping an eye on the elf, but also cleaning my weapons.
Melody just watches Gurk in pure awe of this man.
I kind of like half poke my head out of my sword. I feel you.
It's magic.
Well, led after about maybe an hour, Melody looks out the window. We're getting close. Does anybody look out the windows?
I look up and check out the
Curl
window.
up under the seat and climb up on the
Outside the window, there is a massive floating tower. Sorry, I was listening, but you were basically saying the same thing.
Yeah, I climb up onto her seat to look out the window because I'm short.
I'm still staring at
So is he.
the sword.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was
And
sitting on the
I'm
actual
There is
seat.
what looks
size
like
dragon.
a massive, spire floating in the middle of nothing. Surrounding it are four rings. The lowest one being absolutely massive, while the highest one bolstering a giant castle.
I look toward Led and the girl and ask, "Where have you taken us?"
We're on a train.
Led smiles. This is our home. Welcome to Etheria, the world between worlds.
Sounds familiar.
Upon pulling into the platform, this station is absolutely in decrepit condition. Old wood looked like reused from several other things line the platforms to support the buildings. And everything just looks very, very rotten.
Like run down.
Yes.
Okay.
Upon arrival, Led steps down, invites you all off the train.
I would like to pick up the sword.
You pick up the sword with...
I'll go with it. I don't have to walk.
I pick up the sword and walk it off the train.
I just, through telepathy, I'm just like, oh, thank you.
You're welcome, Master
So
Sword.
you guys... Led and Melody walk you guys out into the city. Upon stepping out into the Etheria for the first time, this place is really very slummy. A lot of buildings are run down and old. Plenty of them have covered windows. A lot of people line the streets. Some of them, in fact, looking homeless.
Are there any decrepit-looking stones around?
Why?
Because he's a dwarf with a stone obsession.
Apparently.
Apparently.
Well, no,
Is it
because
stone fetish?
Please tell me it's a stone.
No. It's
I need
because I'm essentially from what I draw from looking at the dwarfs and on the homebrew and shit like that. They essentially can see the history of the stone and what's happened around the stone, from what I could gather.
I wouldn't worry about that yet.
All right. So, you guys, they're leading you through these crowds of people.
Too much people to hug.
Oh, first drink.
As he spills it on his phone.
I'm a dab pen.
I wouldn't swimmingly do Madison.
After not too long, you arrive at probably one of the buildings that's probably in the better of the most conditions. Has nice wood. Has nice wood. Hanging from a sign on top of, above a staircase is a sign that says the silver dollar. A coin representing that looks exactly like the symbol that was on your envelope and the side of the train is alongside the words.
I would like
On the
to
sign.
knock on the door.
I will open it. Actually, no, I'm still in the sword. I'll let it happen.
You knock on the door. Do you knock on this door?
Yes. And I wait there.
Roll me a strength check, Gert. Just humor me here for a moment.
14.
You knock on the doors, and they proceed to do this. Just
I
flutter
wait.
back and forth.
Let's
just-
and walk through the door.
I grabbed the sword. Mama always said, knock before entering.
I knock and enter.
I follow behind you.
Led just
I
kind
can't
of
go
puts
through
his
the
hand on
sliding
his
door.
face and just kind of runs his hand through his hair,
I crawl
putting
back
his hat
into my
back on his head
sword.
and stepping inside. Followed by Melody, who's cracking up.
I look towards Namri and go, "Come on, dragon."
On inside, there are a lot of people. They are all drinking and laughing amongst each other.
Can I see color again?
Yes.
Yes, you can see color.
Hooray!
It's been a few hours. Should have worn off by now. Does Dirk look
Behind the
at
counter,
This
there-
isn't Dirk. Dirk murdered his party for a rock.
Oh, Dirk.
This is Gurk.
Dirk,
Please tell me they're related in some way.
I wish.
That'd be great.
I forgot about Dirk.
from behind the counter, you see what looks like a very muscular man. He stands up. This man stands at an astounding 8'5".
Slightly taller than me. I would like to walk up and,
And
get him
it
a
looks
hug.
like this man could very easily bench press this building if he wanted to.
I would like to give the man a hug.
He puts his hand on you, holding you at bay fairly easily. You attempt to try to continue to hug?
I wish to hug you.
Led, who are these guys you brought into our house?
Don't
Hi, I'm
mind
Dirk.
him. He's an idiot.
He is the buffoon of us.
As I crawl out of my sword, just kind of stretching, which obviously is, useless and purely aesthetic.
Led kind of shakes his head as he steps beside him.
No hug?
Ron, these are our new recruits.
But
He immediately lets go of Gurk's head and engulfs him. Comrade!
I hug him back.
Led just kind of goes, oh, god damn it.
I look.
Just
they
kind of
told me
putting
they're
his
two
hand on
idiots.
his head on the... Just putting his head on Ron Schultz's
I
arm. It's
look
like, oh, god
towards
damn it.
Led and Melanie and go,
Got
"Please
I
tell
let
me we
go
don't have
and
two
back
idiots
up.
with us now."
I am Gurk.
He puts him down. He lets you go.
I
And
like how
that's
you were gonna say puts him down, forgetting that I was just an inch below him.
releases you from... I am Braun, strong arm of the guild.
Hi,
Pleasure to
Gurk.
meet you. And he slams against the bronze armor plating on his chest, which gongs very loudly.
I smack my chest. It does not, in fact, gong.
But just kind of goes, yeah. He goes, why aren't you out front? He goes, I wanted
Can
drink. What?
I sense Arcana on him.
Go ahead.
And there goes the Togu.
Speaking of which,
21.
Yeah.
anyway, there is a lot of magic coming off the armor plating he has. Is that what you're looking for? Is that what you're looking for?
Pretty much. I'm just trying to,
Get an idea of
figure out.
what's
Yeah.
going on here?
I'm looking for more or less the aura, whether it be godly and or
There's no godly aura. or
it's just
anything about
normal
this guy.
magic.
Yep, just normal
Okay.
magic. Led gestures to you guys to follow him, and he walks you over to a small board. This is a job board, as you can obviously probably tell.
Touch.
You touched the job board. Congratulations. Here we tend to pick up small jobs for around town to be able to help out anywhere we can. It's been a mess down here ever since that jackass took over control up top.
Which jackass?
Is any one of the new council? We'll get into that in due time. That's nothing for you guys to worry about. The first thing we got to do is put you lot through your paces. He looks over the board.
I start pacing.
He looks.
I've followed
Quite
Girk
literal.
in pacing.
I can see that. The boss really can pick him, can't he?
I mean, I'm fairly normal.
I look to Lead and Ash. By the way, when do we get to meet the so-called boss?
Currently, he's out on another job. He should be back. He should be back by the time you guys are done. He reaches up and grabs a sheet of paper off of it and tears it down. This should work. He hands it to you. There's a kid in town. His name's Nico. Cat went missing not too long ago. He's been a good kid. He's a good kid. And he usually does a lot around here. So we could probably. So it's not anything big. So be a good way to put you guys through your paces and learn the city.
Girk, go get Cat. He runs out the door.
Girk, you don't even know where we're going yet.
I'm already running toward the
Sword,
door.
I think that's your responsibility.
I'm already with him because he is still carrying me. You
literally
just see me just
chase-
fall
I chase after
and then disappear.
I fly after the
Just
fools.
like as I'm falling, I'm just like, excuse us.
So should we worry about them leaving, or...?
He sighs and then reaches into his pocket, pulling out a singular map. I was gonna give this to all of you together, but apparently
Fucking good.
I will now give this to you. He hands you the map. This is a map for Etheria. You're the only one still in the guild.
Oh, wait, because...
Kenny followed after him.
God damn it.
This is a map for Etheria, at least the lower level. It'll at least get you around where you need to go.
I just to Girk say, look for a chimney with smoke. Go to a blacksmith. Through telepathy.
Is that where the cat will be?
It might be.
I look for a chimney with smoke.
As I am obviously not getting that sword out of his hands. So we're heading in the direction of the nearest blacksmith.
Sure enough, there is a chimney with black smoke coming from directly behind the guild building.
I run back into the guild building.
I'm
I
just
swear
still
to God,
following
if
them
we're going
around,
to-
trying to figure out what's going on.
I swear to God, we're going to Rupert.
What? Why are you guys back here? What?
Magic Sword told me Cat would be here.
I told him to look for a blacksmith because I figured that they would try to find us at a very easily found location. And he saw smoke and ran back here.
Well, that means you probably saw, and you just see, Led holds up his hand and starts counting down from 5. Once he gets to 1, there is an explosion that rocks the entire guild. And out from a hallway flies a cannonball, bouncing off of several walls before landing perfectly on top of Girk's head.
I would like to pick it up.
No,
And
when he lands holding his arms in a Y shape, goes, style points!
I would like to grab him and hold him in front of me.
Sitting before you is a gnome.
I give him a hug.
The gnome does not really ask about the hug. He looks at Led. Who are these guys?
I am Girk.
I come out of my sword. I don't have a name, but I'm with him, I guess.
He immediately sees you
down.
and he goes,
Yes?
Wait, you don't have a name?
You know what I am?
he immediately pulls himself out of you with a spectacular style, bouncing off of your head and disappearing into a hallway.
I would like to look at you. You don't have a name.
No.
Can I call you Bertha?
On one condition.
On what condition?
You have to make a contract with me.
All right.
God
What's
damn
a
it!
contract?
What's a contract? What's a contract?
It's
Is
thing
there
people
actually
use
like
for
a
bed
specific
sex.
thing?
I look from Namri to Led and back multiple times in just the uttermost confusion of what the fuck I just saw. And heard. Just like,
Talk contract.
looking at a dragon
I have 7 intelligence.
Let's agree
Still better
on
than Gurk,
contract
probably.
with it.
That's pretty much it.
It's just a verbal agreement.
Okay, we've made our contract.
You are not Bertha. What's your contract?
The contract. I kind of just hold my
Before you
finger
have
up.
a chance to finish saying it, the second explosion rocks the guild, sending a similar-looking ball flying out. Only this time it lands perfectly in front of you, a great axe slamming the ground right in front of you. Try to phase into this. Take it. Is all he says after standing next to it.
After concentrating for a minute, I phase into it. All right,
You have now.
I pick it up and start swirling it around me. What am I doing with this?
He just kind of looks.
And now, slightly ignoring Rupert, Gurk, the contract allows you to use, putting up my finger.
He's
the
just kind
glaive
of-
spawns in front of me. This.
He's looking at. While you're explaining this, Rupert is just watching the swords, jumping slightly every time to try to grab one of them again.
Suddenly, the sword disappears, and I merge into the glaive and fly into Gurk's hands.
I'm going to swing it.
You see him look legitimately depressed.
I'd assume he'd be excited to see a dark weapon on top of a spirit sword.
He was mainly like wondering how much more he. You see Rupert, like, you see Led. You just like give him a second. You see his expression change from a look of depression to. As he then tears ass out of there again, back.
Jesus. I
He
go back into
looks at
human
you two
form.
and goes, "Please leave before he comes back."
I go back into
He
human
really-
form and I say, "What is he doing?
Well,
What did he just realize?"
obviously it's your dark weapon.
Oh.
What's a dark weapon?
So, before the idiot shows up again, why don't you and your
I'm already
idiot
here.
I was gonna say. That's probably the smartest thing he said since he showed up. And why am I no longer in my document notes?
In an attempt to keep Gurk ignorant or like innocent, I say it's part of my god sword powers.
You're a god? I've never met a god before.
You hear Led start chuckling slightly.
I'm going to hug the grave.
I say to Led in Celestial, you know something, don't you?
He speaks back in Celestial. I do now.
Guys,
you just hear Bertha groan.
His smirk only grows wider as he turns his back to you guys. I believe you four have a job to do.
Let's go get that cat.
I run out the door.
God damn it.
Do you guys follow?
I mean, I'm still holding Addison. He doesn't
I'm
have
mainly
much of a
referring to
choice.
the only two that actually can.
I tell Namri to go, and I look to Led. Do I have to go?
He just... Yes.
Can you even keep?
Am I
fly
taking
after
orders
him.
from an elf? I grumbly walk out of the bar.
God damn it, Dakota. You're gonna be the fucking weakest link.
I fly after the Gurk.
Hey, I'm a dwarf getting
So,
bossed
like,
around by an elf, but
as-
how do you expect me to act?
As we're running though, I'm like talking to Gurk. I'm like, all right, Gurk, this is what our contract does. It allows me to transform into different weapons for you.
There's more.
There will be later. Right now, there's just the sword and the glaive.
I like.
Actually, now it's the axe because I reshifted.
It's
Which-
perfect because I already have a great axe.
So he has two. He's holding a great. No, he's holding the sword.
Uh-oh.
I ran off without you.
I'm following. No, does that mean Rupert made it back before I left?
No, Rupert hasn't shown up again yet.
Okay, yeah, I'm chasing after.
Anyway, so
He's still holding the sword like God's sword. What do you...
why have you got quiet?
Why aren't you talking anymore? As I start shaking it vigorously.
Why are you sleeping? Fucking hell. I can see it. I can see the fucking resemblance.
I'm gonna stop and just start shaking the sword. Why did you stop talking?
I finally fucking catch up to him. I'm like, because I changed my weapon.
I'm right here.
You buffoon.
My axe is kind of swirling behind me. I'm an axe now.
What about the sword?
It used to be me.
I'm confused.
I walk into the axe.
I grab the axe.
I just ask, are you still confused?
Yes. But now I have an axe and another axe.
And a sword.
And a sword.
You just need to keep all of this shit in your inventory.
You could probably hold a whole bunch.
You know what?
So
Every time you're disarmed, you just pull
Actually-
a random fucking
actually-
weapon out of your bag. Like, let's go.
Can I go? We can probably do this later, but I want to go back into the greatsword and absorb the axe, so that I can transform into a dark weapon.
So Dakota, you have the map Led gave you.
Yes.
But that
On the map,
demonstration
there's a
of class
place
3.
marked where for your destination, which isn't too far from the guild. However, chasing Gurk down has led you easily 2 miles in the opposite direction of where you want to be.
Whee!
I finally get in yelling distance of Gurk. Gurk, stop!
I'm looking for the cat.
You're in the wrong area.
No, I'm not.
I hold up the map,
What's that?
point to the destination we're supposed to go to, and point to where we are. We gotta
I
turn
just
around.
stare dumbfounded.
We gotta turn around, Gurk.
Gurk, you gotta follow the door.
Follow them.
Follow the dwarf,
Why?
Kirk.
I follow behind the dwarf.
I turn around and start leading the party back towards the destination.
So, upon finding, there's a small child who's living with his folk, living just not too far from the guild.
Why are you like...
Small
To
flower,
do a
what looks
mass.
to be the remnant of a flower shop across from the guild. About maybe 3 streets over. These are fucking morons.
I'm sorry, but I'm fabulous.
And inside of it, there is a family of 3. A small boy, a wife, and a father. The father looking like he's currently having a mental breakdown.
Do you need a hug?
He does not hear you.
Do you need a hug?
Even scarier this time.
The wife and child walk up to you. Can we help you too?
I'm looking for a cat.
The boy looks up. You're looking for my cat?
I don't know.
Are you Nico, small boy?
He just kind of nods.
I'm looking for
Then
your
yes, we are.
cat. I'm carrying a great axe.
While he's talking with you guys, the mob is looking dead at you with concern.
I step out of the sword and I
Yes, then
say,
at the 8-foot
he
four
means
fucking
well.
barbarian with 2 great
Trust me.
axes.
The wife freaks out a little bit.
And
at first,
forgot
like,
John.
I mean well too.
I step
We're
between.
with the
Okay,
guilds.
okay. Let me explain this.
I just maybe this will help, and I hold out the envelope.
She looks and then her eyes light up a little bit. You're with the guild.
Yes.
Oh,
What's a
alright.
guild?
Don't mind Gurk. He's our idiots. He's
No.
currently following a sword.
The sword is God.
Oh,
She
shit,
looks
my
kind
God.
of confused. What
Sword.
does he mean by that?
I mean, the sword is God. As I hold up the great axe.
He means this. I turn into the glaive, and then turn into the human form, and I just do all spirit sword shit. He thinks I'm a god.
It's God.
I say it too quiet for him to hear.
She just kind of nods, kind of like. She points very subtly at her husband.
Does he need a hug?
Very close to him, you notice the cause of his distress. There's a Rubik's Cube on the ground. And it's missing a couple pieces.
My brain's broken.
Sword.
Girk stares at it, starting to do the same thing.
I turn
Roll an
to
intelligence check.
Oh no! 3.
You start feeling distraught looking at this item.
I would like to sit next to the father and stare at it, trying to figure out what it is.
I'm gonna make a perception
Still
check
holding Addison.
Addison's making a perception check.
to see if I can find the pieces nearby. 14.
There's literally not even a foot. They're not even a foot away from him.
I hand them to him.
He quickly puts them together and then frantically starts trying to solve it.
I'm still staring at whatever the fuck's going on.
Fucking
I walk
stare.
over to the kneeling Gurk, finally able to reach his shoulder and pat him on the shoulder. Let's go, big guy.
What's he doing?
Magic.
Called a
It's
puzzle.
too much for you to
What's a
understand.
puzzle?
Let's come
We'll
on.
explain later.
We'll explain
It's
later.
magic.
Like the sword?
No, not like the
Different
sword.
Different magic.
This is fake magic.
I love how into the good character we're all getting to actually talk to Devin like he's a slug.
Gurk, roll intelligence.
Dumb
Oh no, Gurk! Do you believe this?
No!
Ah, it's another 2.
Oh no, Kirk!
He believes
Will it-
it.
Gurk, you believe all of this wholeheartedly. That Rubik's Cube is some kind of magic. And this man is trying to harness it.
He's too dangerous to be kept alive. No,
Gurk, no.
no. That's not what happened.
Gurk is kind
I'm about to
hearted.
be like, "Alright, I'm not ready for fucking.
It's just a funny scenario.
That's what you're thinking right now. This man is trying to harness some new magic with his cube.
He will become a powerful wizard.
I say, Girk, let's go.
So, we're gonna go ahead and give this one the quick version.
I walk up to the boy. Where is your cat?
Hugo explains the last place he saw the cat was near the east gate.
I run toward the east gate.
Kirk, you
Roll
don't
an
know what you-
intelligence check.
Why? Why is it always intelligent?
What way is east as I go sprinting out the door?
Kirk, Sword, doesn't he still have your bound weapon? in his hand?
As the sword dissipates, your
There he
answer
goes.
is solved.
Well, looks like we're playing catch up.
Just again,
Memory.
excuse
Go
us.
on. Trying to get some more info.
The wife just
Just follow
looks
the
on
giant dust
in
cloud from the giant
utter
behemoth running through the
confusion.
streets.
All right.
The father frantically still spinning the
Cody.
puzzle together,
Cody,
and Nico just like,
Cody, what are the chances that their front door points east?
points south.
Oh,
Cody, I turn to Kenny as the sword dissipates. I turn to Kenny and go, Never, please go chase them. Follow the giant cloud behind the oak.
I was about to say, important thing to note, they're going south.
And
I go out the door and just
I try to
slide
tell
there
Girk to slow down.
to follow.
I turn
okay.
I turn to Nico and ask him, is there any more detail you could give me?
I have stopped.
I lost the
I say,
club.
go back to
No.
the house. We need them to help us find the cat.
Okay.
Do you know which direction you're going?
Backwards. I start sprinting backwards to make sure that I don't turn the wrong way. I go through the door backwards.
No, keep in mind, Cody, I sent Kenny before he stopped and started running backwards to go find the giant oak. So
When you see him a lot, logistic. Kenny, roll perception.
Can you just hit
no,
me
I'm saying
running
because
backwards?
if Kenny's in the street, he's probably gonna get fucking run over by Kirk.
I said I flew into the air because I
Okay.
have tiny wings that could make me fly.
Perception.
Rolling perception. Did it roll?
No, it did technically.
It didn't roll. Because that was already there. I had to click on the what? 15 plus 2. 17.
You see a cloud of dust coming in the opposite direction of where Girk was running.
I move out of the way.
You
Of the
step out of
dust
the way.
cloud.
Roll it dexterity check. Roll a dexterity save.
Cool.
And Devin, roll dexterity for me too. Why don't you?
Why are we already killing each other?
I only rolled
Natural
a
20.
2, 7.
Kenny got a nat 20.
Kenny
9, 10,
manages to
11.
majestically flip out of the way as Gert comes thundering through, nearly breaking
As a feather!
breaking down the door to the house as he storms backwards through it.
I'd
Oh,
say
yeah,
that's
I
going to be
catch the
fairly
door.
accurate wording, though, later on. Thundering through.
I catch the door to stop it from hitting them.
She looks on in abject kind of horror, like, what the fuck is going on?
Sword told me to come back.
I turn to her.
She kind of puts her hand in front of the child.
Again, I apologize. He's a buffoon, like I said.
No, I'm Girk.
I re-entered the house.
Point.
Found him.
Kind of noticed, Henry.
I am so sorry.
We all are. Girk, right?
What?
We're all sorry, right?
Where's your cat?
Do you know which
The
direction
cat
you were
is
going?
east.
No.
Girk, you went
Fuck.
south.
Forward.
And then backward.
Girk, let's let the dwarf lead us.
The dwarf is slow.
And carry him.
Dwarf has shorter legs than you.
That's his fault.
I look up at Girk. Hey! It's not my
Oi!
fault I was born this way.
Boing. Baby, I was
Hop
born
out of
this
a hole
way.
in the ground.
Baby, I was born
Hate you
this
all.
way. So, what do you guys do now that you have rejoined as a party?
I sheath my great axe that is Addison and pick up my guiding dwarf.
So I am still on Devin.
And I walk out the door, hold the dwarf up which way as I start sweeping left to right.
I jump on Girk's back.
Are you okay, Dakota?
Onward, guiding dwarf.
I jump on Girk's back. Not wanting to get left behind.
I can just imagine an Urkai doing it to Gimli. It's like a deleted scene, just, which way, little dwarf? Like picking up one of their stunt double mini-me's and just like spinning the Ghibli double. Just which way?
Okay. Let's make.
Oh, fucking hell.
I am
So,
sweeping my majestical
Dakota.
guiding dwarf.
you lead him
Oh.
toward the gate.
Yes.
So, you get
Well, on the bright side, we have a fantastic mode of travel.
On the right side,
It's a war mount.
I am now holding the dwarf like a fucking football as I charge toward the destined way.
With a dragon on your back.
For a whole while, I'm screaming for you to avoid buildings by saying
Girk.
left, right.
Girk. Roll me a dexterity check.
My dexterity. Can I substitute it for athletics? Hell yeah. Critical fail.
Oh no.
Girk, as you're running, you don't happen to hear the screaming of the gnome to not of the dwarf to stop as you proceed to plow straight through a cart.
Main cabbages!
Green orbs falling around as you plow through. The man falling to his knees in despair and sorrow. Looking back at you with hate-filled eyes as you tear off into the unknown.
I look back and
I
scream,
like-
I'm so sorry! As I'm getting
I
carried
like
off
the
by
idea.
Girk.
Keep in mind what he has just witnessed. He is trying to maintain his cart, and he watches an 8'4" Goliath with a football dwarf carrying an arsenal of weapons, having a leopard-sized dragon on his back, plow through his cart and keep running forward.
Addison, you're done.
And then the idea that all this is to find the cat.
Imagine what happens when we take down the big bad. The big bad's the cart owner. Oh, my stomach! Oh, my stomach! Oh my god!
And now I continue running forward.
I'm gonna breathe. Oh god!
As you approach, you see what looks like a stairwell upward, and a man guarding it.
I stop in front of the man and set the dwarf down. We are here for your cat.
He looks at you with legitimate confusion.
We are here for your cat.
I kind of bob and sway a little disoriented. I go to say something and just fall forward. From all the
What
blood
the fuck
finally
is going
rushing
on
back
here?
to
Who
my
the
body.
hell are you?
Hi, I'm
You
Gert.
just hear from Dirk's back. We're here to find a cat.
I am here for your cat.
I very weakly pull out the envelope and set it on the ground.
Oh.
He kind of looks down at the emblem with a look of disgust.
We are here for your cat.
Another one of them.
Kirk, you know.
Do they?
I got no
the cat.
business or bother with you lot. Piss off.
We just want your cat.
Kirk, I think the man wants to be punted.
Please don't actually say that to Dirk.
Don't say that to Garrett.
I would like to. I would like to boy at the man, like the motion. Do you wish to be punted?
He turns around. Excuse me.
I have been said that you wish to be punted.
Who the fuck do you people think you are?
I am Girk.
I is the Namri.
He just hears in his head, listen, this man's hug has the crushing force of a fucking boulder. Just leave.
He glares you down before entering the building and closing the door.
Wait, where's your cat?
Kirk, I think you need to knock on the door.
Then the gate
say
to
it,
the
Kirk.
east,
I smack Namri
gate
on the head. Stop
slammed
it.
closed.
I'm on his back
I
still.
would like to knock on the door
Yeah,
that the
fucking
man
play
went
ahead.
through.
Strength check.
Namri.
Why are we always strength checking for tearing down
Because it's
doors?
Gert knocking
13.
on a door. You
13.
knock on the door, and luckily it's enough to make it thud a little, but not enough to break it.
Maybe rattle it in the frame.
I would like to call through the door. We're here for your cat.
You hear what sounds like a commotion coming from the alley nearby.
I go check it.
Girk is
It is
debating on
unfortunate-
sprinting the dwarf over.
It's
I will
however
hit her.
unfortunate,
Give me
it
a
is
moment.
actually just out of your range. You actually can't get
Oh, I can't project my fucking body around the corner.
I go around
Kirk.
the corner.
Head in
I
direction
hop
of
off
noise.
Kirk and go around the corner.
I start following.
In the alley, you can see what looks like 3 goblins surrounding an animal.
Is it a cat?
It is, in fact, a cat.
I would like to go pick up the cat.
I say, Girk, slow. Those goblins are trying to kill it. We
I'm
need
going to
save it.
go pick
I-
up the cat.
I
go-
yell
As you attempt to get
What's
close
going
to them,
on?
all 3 of the goblins turn to you. However, on top of everything, a 4th goblin jumps down. This one looks weirdly different, spouting a 3rd arm, an eye in the middle of its forehead, and a tail with a blade on the end.
Girk is going to continue to go pick up the cat.
Kirk, the goblins need to be punted.
I
The
yell
cat
to
needs to be
Namri.
saved.
Namri,
Got to.
what's happened?
Protect the cat. Pick up the cat. I will hold the cat.
Yeah.
So you
I
attempt to
say,
pick up
Gert.
the cat.
We need to protect the cat, which means these guys need to go.
Okay.
Goblins
I pull out
bad.
the great axe.
He's like, I'm down.
I yell over to Namri before noticing Girk pulling out his axes. What's happening?
I'm protecting the
goblins.
cat.
I hear the word goblin and just hop up with full energy. Goblins! Fucking rush over.
Yeah!
Slaughter them.
Yeah, beat
You see this fucked up looking goblin with the third arm and eye.
Yeah,
What you might want.
I want
See-
the cat.
This thing's our dinner.
No, it's a cat.
I feel like Dirk is the perfect person for this situation.
We'll let Kirk do the talking.
Is
I
this
honestly-
fucking dumb? What the hell?
No, I'm Gurk.
The goblin looks at you, his third arm clenched in a violent fist, now grabbing at a mace on his back. The other one grabbing a sword near his right.
That's not a cat.
I don't know what the fuck your mental damage is, but I'm gonna break your damn skull in!
That's
I
gonna
lower-
be very difficult for you, I promise.
I aim my Thompson at the goblin. Do you really want to try this?
I ward you off for now. I said we can handle this. We're trying to settle this peacefully. The
You
Thundering
lot don't
Goliath is
seem
enough.
to quite understand. Guy like me's got nothing better to lose. You're with them, aren't you?
Me?
He
I'm-
looks directly at the blade that Gurk is wielding.
Gurk.
I can see it.
I'm with whoever I want to be.
He's with me as I grab the blade.
I
Got
got
his
no
back.
business with you lot.
Then I suggest you leave.
I intend to eat.
Flick off the safety of the
Eat
submachine
what?
gun.
Give them a ration.
The three goblins start to advance on you three before he holds up his free hand. You guys can't be with the guild. There's no way. You guys are too dumb.
I'm with a guild.
I hop off into my physical form and spawn my glaive in my hand.
Fly over the goblins,
You should leave.
heading towards the cat.
Roll an arcane check.
Hand me my phone, Ken.
It's so far away. Yeah. Helpful.
24.
This is wrong. This man is wrong. Everything
Oh, I
about him
gathered
is
that
wrong.
from first glance. Keep in mind, I have a sage background.
He's also hiding something. The three goblins are time bombs, and they don't even know it.
I like to look at the goblin. Eat what?
Fucking kill the cat and divvy it up. It's pissing me off.
I say, Gurk, throw me.
I yeet him at the three-armed goblin.
I despawn my glaive and form into my axe as it flies.
What kind of roll would that be counted as for you?
Athletics.
Yeah, you roll enough.
That would be
Devin,
strength
roll
for
it.
Devin, and I can enter my blade from wherever. The only thing that I would need to roll for is the attack, essentially. Oh no.
What'd you roll?
15, 20, 24.
You proceed to hit one of the goblins is eviscerated
Oh, Jesus Christ.
upon impact. I got a 3.
Oh no!
Upon cutting through it, it violently explodes, sending all of you out of the alley.
The cat! I sprint back into the alley.
I put the butt of the Thompson on the ground and stand back up and look towards the sword. You really think you guys can handle it still? And I start charging back with Gurk.
The deformed goblin steps through the smoke, a sly smile on his face. I did warn you, didn't I? Now, you can let me eat in peace, or you can fuck off.
See,
Eat what?
Shut that idiot up before I do.
I don't
No.
think you want to take that fight.
We can't shut him up. He has no off switch.
What's
Sorry.
an off switch? No.
But we need that cat.
I want the cat.
Gentlemen, roll initiative.
That's just a D20.
I got an 8.
I'm going to equip myself to Devin really quick.
Is it just the D8? D20?
It's a
17.
D20 plus what? I'm trying to remember for Dex for your initiative.
Dex.
Dex.
Shoot.
My
book!
Save throws there.
What do you got, Devin?
17.
14. We're going off your turn.
My book.
And
Yeah, I got an 8.
3.
Keep in mind, I hucked you.
Yeah. Are you
Like
within 30
explosions.
feet of me?
Do you
The
go
axe.
back into my
It's
hand?
like we got blown out of the alley.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And when I transform, yes, I can fly to your hand within a 30-foot radius.
Cool.
If I'm
11.
transforming into my glaive, which I
11.
am.
Did you just roll
Girk is
that?
very happy about this.
Yeah, your dexterity.
He now has boomerangs.
Oh, perfect.
I'm
Yes,
breaking
what?
the last one.
Boomerang great axe.
Matters for goblins as well.
Yes, fucking.
Matters for goblins as well. So yours is a 9 minus 11. What is Devin's?
So yeah, so long
17.
as you don't throw me too far, I can come back to you in a flash.
Alright, so you got 17.
Yeah.
So like,
I
let's
got
hope
9.
Dirk catches
11.
on to that because I don't think.
And you're going off of
Bertha
Dirk's
will tell
turn?
him.
Addison?
Huh?
You're going off Girk's turn?
Yes.
Alright, it's the goblin boss's turn.
What do you get?
You got an 18. Jesus.
Holy fuck.
He starts by letting out a loud roar. Your rolls are all -1 for one turn.
Okay.
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 And as a brief action, he suddenly jumps up into one of the buildings walls and manages to hold there with his other arm,
Got some fucking legs.
Damn.
holding a crossbow in his free arm, the free third arm. All right. So you got 17, Girk. You're up. There's still 2 goblins on the ground and one clinging to a wall.
How far away are they?
It's about maybe a foot.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna cleave one of them with the great axe. With the Addison axe.
All right, roll to hit.
Alright. 14.
Using his club, he bounces Addison off.
I'm upset with this.
All right, who was next?
I had 11.
You had 11. What did you have, Dakota?
Yeah.
I had a 9.
Oh,
Oh wait, I'm gonna use my turn to do something real quick. So I'm gonna spawn.
what
a
was
war-
yours?
Huh?
What was your turn?
My turn is Devin's turn.
Oh.
And essentially, it can happen at any time.
Oh,
But
okay.
I'm gonna spawn my warrior spirit, which spawns a ethereal spirit of myself behind Devin, giving him extra health
EMB.
and allowing me to attack with him
Okay. Next turn or this turn?
next turn.
Okay. So, Kenny, it'd be your turn next. Currently, Girk is scuffling with one of the other goblin, with one of the goblins. Another one standing over to the left of him, and then there's the boss hanging from the wall with the crossbow.
I'm going to fly to the one towards the left of him.
Alright, you're
Actually,
gonna-
how close is he?
He's about 3 feet. He's about 3 feet up on a building.
No, not the boss.
At the boss? Oh, the other one?
Yeah.
He's about a foot to the left of Girk and about maybe 2 in front of you.
I charge him.
Charge him?
Yep.
Alright, roll the hit.
I'm going to bite him.
I'm gonna bite. Roll the hit.
Yep. So, roll to hit, that'd be the D20.
And don't forget it is -1 because of the boss.
D20. Did it roll? It did not. Damn thing. 11 minus 1. What do we add to it?
You're at biting, so I'm assuming your strength?
Yeah, but to hit.
Your strength.
Yeah, your strength.
Strength, okay.
Or biting would be dexterity, it's light.
No,
Oh.
it's plus strength there.
Oh, okay.
1d6.
That's right, yeah.
That's just.
That's for
a zero.
damage.
Yeah. So,
I'd treat it as versatile. It could be dex or strength
add dex
to hit.
So, 13.
13. The goblin uses his club, and you are only able to bite down onto the club, blocking him. And so he's. Alright. And you got a 9, Dakota? What you said? You're up. Two of them are scuffling, and then there's the one hanging from the ceiling. Or hanging from the wall.
I'm gonna go after the goblin boss hanging from the wall.
Alright, what do you do?
I'm gonna shoot my machine gun at it, which is 3d6.
Roll
shoots
to
twice.
hit.
Which is d20.
Don't forget it is -1 because of...
I got an 18.
Got an 18? Is that -1?
Yeah, it was a 19 at base.
Alright, roll damage.
8.
You managed to hit him, and in the process knock him off of the wall, and he lands on a fire escape.
Okay.
All right, it is the goblin getting attacked by Dirk's turn.
Dirk.
And it is going to use his scimitar.
Well, that throws that.
What's your AC?
What'd you roll?
19.
Yeah.
You pass me the blackboard.
He hits you over the head with his scimitar, dealing 8 damage.
And then we stunned endurance to reduce it by 1d12 for 1 damage. Oh fuck. Taking 7. Addison, you end up taking 1 for overflow.
Okay.
It is the one being attacked by Kenny's turn. It's going to do something similar. There's a 5 hit.
It's all farm class, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Plus Constitution. Addison, you do not in fact take 1. Reduce it by 5.
18 is my arm
Jesus
class.
fucking Christ.
I'm a dragon. What do you expect?
Alright.
What I drew the fuck?
Yeah, his armor class was pretty high.
Alright.
I may be small, but I am powerful.
It is the goblin boss's turn again. And he's going to take that crossbow. He's going to point it right at you.
Okay.
It starts glowing a weird dark glow. Does an 18 hit?
I have a 16 and my Constitution's 11, but I have no gain from Constitution.
So an 18 hits.
Right. I only have chainmail on, by the way. That's my armor that I wear.
I mean, I'm armored.
So you're fucking dragon scales, bro. They're resilient for a reason.
And then there's just my rippling pecs that have 1 less armor class than Kenny.
16, 17, 18.
Dakota, take 6 damage.
Jesus.
He shoots you with it. Once the bolt hits you, you feel an overwhelming sense of fear.
I don't think I've actually calculated my
Your next
armor
roll
class
will
yet.
have
I just didn't
disadvantage.
count on getting hit unless it was of my own volition.
Alright. I was hoping to be a poison thing instead.
Alright.
Get 4.
I mean, do you have natural armor?
My armor class is just 16.
Not you. Addison.
yet. I don't think.
Because
Yeah,
if
but-
not, then it's just 10 plus dex.
And it is your guys' turn now, by the way.
I swing. Again.
Are you going for the same goblin?
Yes.
Alright, roll
He
it.
touched me, and now I'm gonna touch him.
He hopes.
Oh.
You
Devin.
20 it? Is that a 20, Devin?
There's a
Devin?
28 hit.
Is that a nat 20
No.
itself? Or no? Alright. Roll damage.
And
It's damage, Addison. Can you do anything here for this?
I'm swinging Addison. Are you your great axe or your glaive?
I am the glaive right now because that is what I
Figured.
had to do to fly to you.
Just making sure.
So it's a +3 to damage.
8, 13, 16, 17, 18 damage.
Yeah, so you
Eviscerated.
this goblin is in half.
Demolished. No.
This goblin is in pieces.
I would like to look at the goblin that Kenny's attacking.
So yeah, the thing is like with him, I work like a glorified boomerang, but don't actually do much fighting for myself.
Upon its death, it explodes.
Okay.
Girk
Gurk.
takes 6 damage.
Gurk.
Was it fully charged?
The goblin
It was red.
took 1 damage.
Like it went
And
from
Kenny
charging green to charging
Take 3
red.
damage.
Addison. You take 3.
I take 3.
That goes down.
Speaking of Kenny, I believe it will be your turn.
Wait, was my shield still up?
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
Because Stone's Endurance, I forgot I had the con.
Which means I totally could have swung with you.
Also, Devin, I just remembered that we gave my Thompson a 70-round mag.
Kenny, the goblin you're fighting is looking in horror why the fuck one of his friends just exploded.
I wonder why they didn't notice when the first one exploded.
Too much commotion, I'd say.
I mean, with
No.
a giant.
I mean,
behemoth,
the
a
only
fucking
thing
dragon, and a
happening
dwarf
was
walking around
me
the corner to
hucking
confront
you at them.
and then a guy just spectral imaging himself out of a axe. Like, I'm sure that's a lot of commotion for them to deal with to not notice his buddy exploding.
Yeah.
Probably know it could have been somebody dropping a bomb from the fucking wall or some shit.
The axe could have been exploding damage.
The goblin is continuing to look at this body in abject horror. Why the hell did he explode? The boss. What does it matter? You guys are useless anyway. But I thought.
I formed myself in front
Still
of
your
you.
turn.
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
When no,
What are you doing?
it'll come down to when my turn rolls around next if he's still alive
So-
anyway.
Okay, I'm gonna roll to bite.
Right? Roll with advantage due to the fact that he's distracted.
15, and then it's plus the dex, plus 3. 17. Wait, no.
Did you roll twice?
15. 18. Sorry.
You rolled a second time.
14 and then 15. Does an 18 hit?
It does. So, roll damage.
Which one's D10 on here? That. 9 plus.
Get
9.
You bite into it. You bite into his neck, killing him.
Oh, fuck.
The goblin explodes.
Hit
Kenny,
inside of your mouth.
Good luck, Kenny. I can't
take
really
8
help you.
damage.
Ah!
Kenny's dead.
Kenny-
He is not. Kenny is knocked out of combat.
Kenny just bit a fucking bombing. Yeah.
He's over here.
Now he's conscious.
Whoa,
Rupert
he's
would
the-
be
oh,
ashamed of you.
I have
Can't even take a simple explosion.
I have a question that involves
Devin.
an item that I have. Just
I'm
from
also
the
not
beginning.
too smart.
Would my healing words be able to bring Kenny back into the fight?
You're healing what?
My healing herbs.
No.
No.
Their healing
I think
herbs
that's
are
an
made into
overtime.
potions through brewery.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Good to know.
Dakota, it is now your turn. There is only one left. He is still in. He's still up in on one of the fire escapes. He has his crossbow trained on you still.
He's just out for your ass.
I mean, I'm a dwarf. It's a rivalry between dwarfs and goblins. What do you expect?
He also did shoot him.
True. I did shoot him with fucking 2 bursts of a fucking SMG.
Dakota's the only danger right now unless I transform back into my greatsword. You said he's roughly 30 feet up, right?
Alright. I'm gonna roll
I
to
didn't say
hit him.
30 feet. I said like 3 or 4.
I'm gonna roll to shoot him.
Wait, I don't know. Like,
Oh,
I'm,
I
like,
thought
really
he
bad
had,
at
like
the-
a super jump.
So I have.
Like,
I have
no, the
Is
building's
he
not
like a
really that
story
high.
up?
So for my chance of
Like
hit,
up a floor or two? Yeah,
So,
that's
Cody,
like
for
10 to 20
Oh,
feet.
sorry, I don't know. You know me with kind of measurements and shit like that. I'm not good.
Well, for
So-
example, I am 6 foot, so another 2 feet to 8 foot.
Okay, so yeah, it's more like 10, maybe 15 feet
Okay, I'm gonna
up.
roll to hit.
Okay. All right, what
I'm
did you
gonna
roll?
be shooting him with my submachine gun.
What'd you hit?
Oh wait, hang on. I had the 3 die for that one. 16, and then that's -2, so 14.
14. All right. He's able to dodge out of the way of your attacks.
He's a quite
Dirk,
an
save
acrobatic
me.
little fucker.
Now it is his turn. His turn again. He reaches into his bag. He reaches into a bag, pulls out another one of those dark arrows, loads it, points it at Gurk.
Dirk.
Uh-oh.
It's a 19 hit.
Another.
All right, so you actually figure out.
Okay, Kirk, you haven't taken much damage yet.
Haven't taken any damage yet. You have.
Take
Yeah.
6 damage. You feel a wait. Devin, do me a favor.
Hmm?
I want you to roll me an intelligence check.
What intelligence?
Just humor me.
Ha! 14.
You are too oblivious to realize you should be feeling scared right now.
Well, yeah, that's just Gurk in general.
The arrows are meant to instill fear. You are actually legitimately just too dumb for the arrows to work.
Cool.
He looks at you legitimately surprised.
Gurk!
I just
It is my
telepathically
turn
to
now,
him,
right?
he's not your average Goliath.
Gurk?
I suggest
It-
you retreat.
He does nothing. He instead takes out the dagger, layers all of you down, and utters something in celestial.
Can I understand it?
Yes,
Yeah?
he is coming, and stabs himself in the neck, violently blowing up.
I would like to run toward the cat to protect it with my body.
Sure. You know what? Roll. Fuck me. What was it? Wasn't
Athletics?
dexterity. It's athletics. Yeah.
3, 8, 12.
You manage to get close to the cat. You body slam just a foot away.
Kitty, no!
As Gurk is buried under the rubble of the blown up building.
Did cat 5?
No, cat's fine. Gurk's the only one buried.
I shield my face from the rubble of the explosion.
I'm laying there.
I'm
Unable
still
to do
on
anything.
Gurk's
Buried with Gurk.
No, you're still just in my hands.
Well,
Just
thankfully the
outside of the
axe is
rubble,
someplace
just there
just
next to the
laying there.
cat, and you just pop out like.
I
"Hello,
hate-
kitty."
back. I've been named Bertha.
Boifa.
It's a big
Upon
bird,
all
huh?
the explosions, the sound of footsteps can be heard. As Lead sprints in. What the ever-loving hell is going on?
Can I pop out of the rubble and say I'm looking for the cat?
Roll a
Just-
strength check.
To save down the
Holy
cat.
Gurk.
No! 14!
You managed to
13.
you managed to get the rubble off, but it's very, very hard.
I'm looking for the cat!
I just go, he's looking for the cat.
I look at Lead. Goblins are trying to eat the cat. They all had bombs or something in them, so when they die, they explode.
The fuck are you talking about? What are
I go
The
back-
mission! For the cat!
I go back into human form. We found the cat. The cat was being cornered by goblins. We fought the goblins. The goblins exploded, and one of them killed itself. And I need to talk to your leader.
Okay, this is all right. Just grab the cat, return it, and then get back to base.
I can't find the cat.
The cat walks and sits on your head.
I found the cat.
Good job,
went
Garrick.
back
Now
up
bring it
now.
back to Nico safely.
Am I still down?
Okay. I pick up the leopard and walk over to Nico's place.
Once you
Being
get there,
very steady to not jostle the cat.
A cat on your
for
head,
once actually
dragging
walking
your
through town
arms.
very carefully, just
Rather than just barreling along.
you walk past the shattered remains of a cart and a man grossly sobbing over the remains of what looks like a cabbage.
My cabbages!
I would like to present the man with a hand axe.
He takes it, continuing to glare at you. He's plotting your destruction.
And I continue to walk to Nico. Goodbye, hand axe.
Why did you give him a hand axe?
Because I still have one more.
You guys get to Nico's. The cat jumps off your head and lands in his arms.
I found the cat.
Thank you. He's just repeatedly states, hugging it and spinning around. The mom walks up to presumably you, being too afraid of him, not sure if you're still in physical form or not. I'm assuming no.
I believe he's still on my back.
Well, she walks up to you.
I'm still down.
Conscious that can actually coherently speak.
I appreciate everything that your guild has done.
Boom.
She pulls out an envelope and hands it to you. This is for your leader. Tell him thank you.
I take it and nod towards her and motion for Dirk to bring,
My toilet paper.
the unconscious dragon with us.
I go back into physical form, grab her hand, and kind of whisper, "There's danger coming. Stay safe."
She kind of looks confused as you leave. You return to the guild. Standing in the guild, sitting in the front table, are 4 people. The first one is wearing jet black armor. His sword is absolutely massive. And he looks very serious. Another one is another young man wearing a wolf mask. An iron wolf mask. A short sword strapped to his waist. Very cold air around him. Next one is a young woman, not wearing any forms of armor, just normal garb.
Gurk.
Loincloth like Girk.
I look to Girk and ask him to let the sword become physical and control itself for a while.
I mean, there's nothing stopping him from physical and taking himself off my back.
I can move the axe at any time.
Well, then
It's just when I'm holding him, he doesn't have too much of a choice.
I hop off and my axe starts swirling around me again like a little fucking show.
Then there's the one in between all 4 of them. He has long silver hair. Wearing his armor is bright, is basically a gleaming silver as well.
I would like to walk up to the table, set down the dragon, and just say he blew up. Help.
I walk up to the man with silver hair and Celestial. I say, "Greetings. I have something to tell you."
He looks up at you. Are all of your swords currently circling around him? Around you right
There's
now?
only one sword.
Or is-
It's just the great axe right now.
Oh, is there not any form of... Okay. So
I remember I remerged.
he looks up to you. He stops for a minute. He kind of looks. Have we met before?
You seem vaguely familiar. If we did, it was long ago in my past, which I've forgotten.
You want to take a little interval break real quick?
How long have we been going?
Exposition real quick.
Time.
All right. I guess we could take a momentary break. Give people a chance to stretch.
And
All right. Hurry up.
We have been going for
Holy fuck. 2 hours. And we're not even.
And you thought we wouldn't have enough content.
How long has it been?
Well, to be fair, we had a lot
It's
of
almost 3 hours.
we've had a lot of bullshit with Gert.
About to be 3.
Well,
I'm sorry, Garrett is a masterpiece.
Girk is our content filler.
So by this point, do I know did you introduce did he introduce himself as Silvio or
They have not yet.
okay?
None either
We
of them
just
have had
see-
a chance to because Gert
When
introduced himself.
When you said the goblin boss was
Okay.
still aiming the crossbow at me, I had a split second in my mind where I was like, do I just shoot him again and hope for the best, or do I run and try and hide behind Girk? I was like, decision!
I bet a goblin. It blew up.
Well, so essentially what it is I'm pretty much Dirk is my chosen one. Where I feel like, despite his dumbassery, he completes.
I love him.
You want to know what I realized I could have done? Because, Cody, the building the goblin boss was on was wood, wasn't it?
No, it's stone.
It was stone? Oh, okay. I was gonna say, because it was what I could have easily just used one of my fucking abilities and just make a fire ring around him, so he's basically just constantly getting
Well,
burned.
it's a crying shame you didn't look.
Well, I figured if it was enough for it to have fire escape on it, I'd assume it would be.
Hey, you want to check chat for me for a second? While I'm making them.
It's
Just Darren saying he couldn't hear us. Oh, what if you got it fixed? Can you hear us, Darren?
it's still there.
Kirk has
We
returned.
still have one person dealing. We had 2, and then it went down to 1. Stayed at 1.
Taking a gamble with a 4 count.
I'd say go 10 count.
Not that good.
But you don't be
Do I
too
look like an
bad.
Alec? I'm glad I don't look like an Alec. Fucking machine.
Yeah, at least he's still there. Means he hasn't got into it yet. I think.
Also, yeah, speaking of
Huh?
I'm just saying that Steamroll has been sitting for like 2 hours.
Yeah. I'll check it real quick.
That's what Let's let Cody go.
It's getting there.
It's starting to go like it did with mine.
Everyone take it there. You guys look
Yeah.
I just cleared it. I just need a little bit.
Madison, you're dying and you took your dad.
Sounds good.
All right, we ready to
I
start
was in
getting
the
back?
middle of talking with Silvio.
Give me 1 second.
And then Devin needed to pee and interrupt everything.
Well, it was a
Fucking
good little
Devin
break.
needed a bladder. Fucking
Geek.
he blew up. Help.
It's sad because I can definitely envision Kirk saying that. Just be like, oh, he dead.
Also, those
Jake
goblins
Franco
only had like
boom.
7 health.
I know.
What
He eviscerated the first one.
I do a minimum of 8 damage.
Boss, I don't, because I'm gonna not lie, I totally forgot how much damage you actually did to the boss.
I did like 8.
You did like 8?
Yeah.
Alright, then he was about like a little over half, but
Okay.
he saw that this wasn't gonna be a fight he was winning.
I'm saying some both his fucking lackeys got fucking eviscerated.
Well,
It only took down the
I was
dragon.
totally gonna try and
I'm gonna
possess
tell you,
the
once they were
goblin.
low enough health, he was gonna basically, he was gonna set him off anyway. If he set him off in a chain, they would have been 3 times as powerful. So. You're not the easier end of the stick. You came out with the easier battle because, hey,
All I
You
took was
only
a
lost
bolt.
the dragon.
I had to make, I had
Your stupid decision of fighting goblins next.
yeah, I was gonna say,
Hey,
you've been in-
I'm not too intelligent. My intelligence is 7.
What's Gurk's intelligence, Devin?
It's a 7.
They are.
The same.
Yes. We have done it.
My wisdom.
Oh,
Why is it always you two
Dakota.
that are idiots? What?
You're the only real lawyer that makes sense next to fucking Addison, and he just follows Gurk around.
My wisdom is
I don't
10.
follow
The
Garrett.
sad thing is,
I just go with it.
it technically makes me the only person that anybody
Devin?
can really talk to Because most times Addison's trying to keep Gurk from doing some stupid shit.
Alright. You're Alice, and I'm
And I just
Rio.
start going along with Girk. And I just start going along with Girk.
Yeah, and then there's also Kenny just
That's
running
food
off with
wars,
Gurk as
right?
well, leaving me
Yeah.
to
Woo!
figure shit out. Like,
White-haired girl,
Yeah.
bandana guy.
I like that he has.
I'm glad I
his
rolled good
name's
stats
Soma, right?
for my shit, though.
Huh? Red-haired.
Well,
Red-haired
need
guy is Soma,
intelligence.
yeah.
I like that he has a scarf gimmick.
And
Like
then I like
Soma.
intelligence. I like treasure.
All right. Are we ready to get back into this?
Silvio.
Yeah.
Yep, you guys just finished the monologue and shit.
All right.
I'll just send you a load.
After the initial confusion of you dropping a dragon onto their table, the one in the wolf mask looks at you.
I am Gurk.
Sylvia, the white-haired guy suddenly leans back. Oh, now I get it.
He blew up. Help.
Don't quite get what you mean by that, though.
I mean, he blew up.
I walk up next to Gurk and say, we were doing a mission from the board when we got here, and we got, there were goblins after the cat that we were finding. We fought them, but they all exploded.
He exploded
They
like your
knocked
little
out our
man.
friend. They took our friend out of commission here, and we were hoping you could help us.
I pipe up. There was a spell in place to ensure that they exploded the moment they died. And another goblin with a morphed third arm.
Upon hearing this, his eyes widen.
This is a lot right now. But I need to talk to you.
Silvio kind of looks a little back taken, as does the young woman standing beside him. I see. All right. He stands up, excuses himself from the table. Sylvia immediately starts to work. The white-haired young lady, starts to work on Kenny, healing him.
Now, this is player recollection. You said something about a red gem on this man, the third goblin, right? The third arm goblin?
Yes, he had.
Okay, I just want to make sure I mentioned that.
He had a demorph. He had a demorph weird gem in his forehead that seemed to be acting like an extra.
Before Silvio leaves, I hand him the letter that the woman gave me.
He looks at it and opens it. It's a small amount of money. He takes it out primarily and starts going through it. And then he yells over, "Flatten up!" A young elven woman steps out from behind the counter and walks up to him. Yes? Put this with the donation stash. We can get it distributed later. She takes it and walks off. He grabs his drink from the counter, from the tabletop, and follows you, leaving the other three, with you healing. Or did you really walk off? Were you just kind of standing there?
We're walking on.
Okay.
Like, we're
I'm following the
off
magic
to the
sword.
side.
All right, so apparently Gertie's following you.
Bye, dragon.
So we get to like a secluded-ish place. I go
As
to
Gurk leaves, by the way, the guy in the wolf mask, as well as the guy in the black armor, just kind of watch. Seriously, the one in the black armor. Seriously, him. Silvio knows what he's doing, Obsidian. Sometimes. What about that one guy he brought in, the mirrored dude? Hey, Moral is making good use of him as a test dummy.
I just made a second test dummy.
Hey, he doesn't treat him that bad.
I say to Silvio.
Thanks to the incantation.
I say to Silvio. We took a job from the board to find a cat, and we found,
the cat.
We found the cat in an alley surrounded by goblins.
I
There
found
were
the
three
cat.
goblins that were normal, and then there was one with a third arm and a red gem on his forehead. He spoke Celestial.
That's not.
What celestial?
It's a different language.
Okay.
Language probably way over your head.
And so
Yes.
I just turn to Gurk, kind of smile, and I go, "This is Celestial," and then we continue the conversation in Celestial. I go,
Fucking blow Girk's mind.
But I go on explaining about what he said and the nature of the magic and what I sensed and all that. And then I go on to explain a little
And then
bit
there's
about
just
myself.
Girk. You're like,
I go on to explain a little bit about myself and explain that I believe my creator drew me here.
let's see. Tell me, do you remember any of your previous weapon forms?
Until previously today, when Rupert gave me this great axe, I was a great sword.
Let's see.
But other than that, I don't remember.
He puts his hand to his chin and thinks for a little bit. Right.
But
This
the
is something.
goblin said to me, it's the only thing he said before he offed himself. He just uttered, "He is coming."
Upon hearing this, his eyes widen and he looks to you. Are you absolutely
I'm
certain?
positive.
Rejoin your group at the front. He walks away almost immediately. Once there, he walks into the front of the lobby and looks to all the customers. I am sorry, I'm afraid we are closing early. I'm afraid I need to ask all of you to leave.
I'm just gonna look at Bertha. What just happened?
We're trying to fix what happened with the goblins.
Everyone a
blew
little
up.
confused.
They're not supposed to.
I look around at
Oh.
all the patrons leaving, wondering why.
Once they all leave, and Silvio closes and bolts the door, he turns back to you. A former introduction is in order. My name is Silvio Arclight.
I'm Kirk.
I am the head of the guild here. And in a way, I guess you could say I'm also the god of this world.
The god?
He kind of nods.
I'm really just trying to reach my beard. Can you just hand that to me? Furthest one from you. Oh no!
The man in the wolf mask walks up. Once again, that bit of cold air following behind him. My name is Fenrir.
I'm Kirk.
I think we gathered that.
I look to Gert. Settle down, bud. They know.
The woman does a polite bow. My name is Sylvia Arclight.
I would also like to bow. I am Kirk.
Excuse our French.
She laughs a little bit. The final one barely looks up from his drink to even look at any of you.
Hell yeah.
Obsidian. Is all he utters before taking another massive drink from his cup.
Girk.
And a few words. I respect that.
Immediate respect from Cyril.
I go to shake hands with Obsidian.
Spirit weapon. Dark weapon. Impressive. He holds out his hand.
There's too many
Hang on a
people to
second.
hug.
Fucking nailed it.
I gotta say that out loud. There's too many people to hug.
Don't hug me.
I walk
Because
to
Obsidian's a meat response.
I walk to Obsidian and put my arm to my chest and give him a nod. I am Dane.
He does the same. You're getting there. You're about a half health. You're conscious
And
again.
our conscious friend over here.
Upon
is
hearing
Cameron.
that, he slowly begins to regain consciousness.
Oh,
I am Nemny.
yes, you are, buddy. I pat Namry's shoulder.
And as to what you saw, well, I'm afraid what you were exposed to was something we just called the chaos.
No, it was a cat.
They're
Don't
talking
mind
about
him.
the goblin.
Oh,
He's my
okay.
contract holder. I'm the brains.
I'm the brains, he's the brawn.
He looks
Nothing
down.
away.
This is weirdly deja vu.
I apologize for the
Obsidian
overview.
looks over. You know, I wasn't gonna say anything, but now that you mention it, Fenrir, I didn't meet those two because trust me, they were probably about as bad. First one isn't anymore. There's a reason we keep Merle with Rupert. Upon hearing that, there's an explosion, and then Rupert saying, "This is nothing. It's a routine experiment."
I look to Sylvia. Should I go check on them?
Do not worry about it. That entire room has an incantation of my creation. There's no way they're gonna kill So you
Try
watch.
it.
He counts down, and the door comes flying off and out of one of the out of the hall, slamming into Braun, who's just kind of holding it.
Turn to him. You good?
Yeah. Walking it back. That happens about every hour on the hour.
Good to know. I'll be sure not to stay near the hallway at that time.
Seems like Rupert's got a tight schedule.
How often does he blow up this morale fellow? I don't like this.
There's a very good reason we keep those spells around.
I turned to. Now, I need to clarify this. Would the great axe that Rupert gave me be a +1 weapon?
Yes.
Yeah. I turned to Girk and I said, "Do you still have that sword?"
Yeah,
I said, "Hand it here."
I hand it to you.
And I go ahead and take the time to channel, to switch.
So while you're doing this, Silvio goes on to explain. The chaos is a form of darkness from a world unlike ours. It was never supposed to be released. However, a madman decided to unleash it. My knights are here to act as the final stand between that darkness and reality. If they win, everything you know, everything that is gone. Not just the world you come from, but any world. No matter how big or small. Sylvia looks over to where Platina's working with some of the tips from the day, taking them away. Platina was a rescuer. When we got to her village, she was the only one left. They eviscerated everyone. Left no traces. Not even the children were spared the gore. What you saw is called chaosification. Basically, mutation. They capture beings from all over the dimensions. Do God knows what to them. When they come back, they seem to still have some form of consciousness, some form of being. Some do anyway, the stronger ones.
I'm strong.
Mentally strong.
I'm normal.
I'm Girk.
He's good.
The weaker ones don't stand a chance. Just becoming puppets. That is why I reached out to you. There is not enough that we could do alone, despite our numbers.
Now, I must ask, surely you had a plan for this ragtag group of not even all humanoids.
Of course. I expected to give you all some time to settle into the guild. However, with the chaos clearly already on our doorstep, I'm going to have to work faster. But I also need to take into consideration that you guys were able to fend off a chaos creature. When not a lot can.
Explosion. I think back to the fight and I remember the bolts and describe the bolts to Silvio.
Sounds about right. Those weapons are common where the chaos is. Probably only had a few on him though. Probably the last of what he had.
Alright, about now I've slopped my sword, and so I just say to everyone, I'm sorry. This might get a little bit ugly. I've never done this before. And start devouring the great axe.
Silvio just watches on like this is completely normal. As do the rest of the knights, as a matter of fact.
What is Girk's reaction to this?
I'm confused.
What are your reactions?
I liked that weapon.
I look upon it and say, makes me feel like I'm back in the mountains.
Ah, just like back home.
If you were just gonna use it as food,
I remember when we dared Gimli to do
I
the
like
same
the idea.
thing.
It says it requires a minute of concentration, but I like the idea of me actually just nomming the fucking weapon.
So,
If you were just going to eat it, I could have put it in my treasure stash.
So About the time it finishes, I go, I wonder if it worked. And suddenly the great axe head pops out of my arm. It worked. Girk's reaction.
Girk's reaction to see.
I'm astounded and confused. What was the weapon again? Great
So
sword?
I essentially just upgraded the great axe, so it's now a +2.
Ooh. Anyway, so I guess we'll see now if you four are worthy enough. He gestures for you four to follow him, and he will.
Either that, or do we rule it as I can consume a +1 because it gives me the bonus, or do I get the bonus for consuming it?
You get the bonus.
Get the bonus for consuming it?
Yes.
Hell yeah!
He ate sword. He ate axe.
Silvio gestures for you four to follow him as he starts walking into the back of the
I
building.
just realized this is before we've discovered whether or not this can explode, and it is in fact a Rupert item. Good luck, Dirk. You might have an exploding companion.
Hell yeah.
This
I
one
mean,
back there. Does his axe
There is something
explode?
special about that. Oh, I figured.
So, Silvio leads you four to the back of the building, where there's a wall. Silvio then waves his hand in front of it. A white dragon egg emblem crest appears on his hand. And the wall disappears into a stairwell leading down. He gestures to follow.
Can I learn how to do that?
No.
Is there dragons here?
Well, I guess you could say you're kind of looking at one.
Dragon.
Once at the bottom of this very long stairwell,
Great axes D10.
12.
you see a large temple. And before it appears to be a battle arena. He leads you four up the stairs to the temple, where there on a pedestal rests a gold and silver dragon egg. Meet the guardian of the city.
Hi, Guardian.
This
Hello.
is the dragon god Etheria. Dragon
Hi,
goddess of
Guardian.
light. The egg does not move. It just kind of sits there.
Can I give her a hug?
I really appreciate it if you did not.
Dirk is very fragile. You may not.
Can I give you a hug?
No.
I'll tell you what, Girk. I look to him. I'll let you hug me if you don't almost crush my windpipe. Gently.
Aw.
Dragon scales can take hug.
Roll to hug.
Nat 20.
Bye, Kenny. I
Kenny?
think Kenny dies.
Kenny,
So let's keep in mind.
roll for me.
That
Just
means
roll
it's
a flat d20.
It's a 29.
At 20 plus 9.
Just roll a flat d20 for me.
18.
18.
No, there's nothing. You're just rolling a d20 to roll a
18.
d20. Gert, you hug. You sure hug him. You feel several of your scales starting to break.
Dragon scales not holding.
I like the drag.
Girk, loose in. We don't need to break his scale, so he's useless to us.
Why would I do that?
You're cracking them currently.
No. I let go of the dragon.
Good boy.
Several of his scales fall to the ground, loosened and broken.
Look,
I look
you can
over
fix
at-
that, right?
They'll grow back. Dragon scales.
Dragon
How long will that take?
Yeah, dragon scales will grow back. Remember Lord of the Rings when
I've
the scale got
never
broken?
seen that.
Forgot about that. Well,
Dragon scales don't go
they
back.
don't grow back. That's how they're able to kill Smog. Because, yeah, the scale
Yeah,
not-
one's
Well,
got-
I assumed it was like a lizard thing, so you know what? I was about to say. You even.
I forgot you didn't see Lord of the Rings. Alright, what's that? That was the Hobbit.
I didn't drop it.
I think there's one left in there.
Normally, I would give out special trials for each of you to figure out whether or not you'd be worthy to stand alongside us as a gift. As a knight.
I'm worthy.
But
I am dragon.
seeing as time is of the essence, Silvio walks down to the ring and looks up. I'll be your opponent.
No, neither am I. Kirk would like
I'm
to
still
walk
sitting
forward.
at 4 HP.
I'm at 6.
I'm at 7.
I look at him and I go,
Silvio snaps his fingers. You all are back to full health. You feel a warm light cover you all. You're all at full health. And your scales are fixed.
Back to my pitiful 10 HP.
Let the curse go this time.
I would like to pick up Addison and walk toward him.
Is Addison still in his human form?
I would like to grab the axe out of the air and walk
the
toward
axe
him.
isn't in the air anymore, it's the sword now.
Oh, that's right.
And suddenly, I'm gonna transform. So I disappear into a cloud of smoke and fling myself at him as a great axe flying into his hand.
Hello, opponent.
All you have to do is survive one attack.
I've got this.
All right.
Would this be the equivalent of a long rest that we just got?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna do warrior spirit.
I am gonna throw Addison away and go into a wrestling stance.
You being serious?
Oh yeah.
Silvio looks at you. All right. Girk, roll initiative.
I go grab an ale and walk back to my seat.
7.
Kirk was so ready.
Oh, Gurk is still ready. Don't worry about that.
Okay. What is it added plus? Plus what? 2
Dex.
dexterity? Righto.
Girk comes up with a backup plan.
Gurk is fucking ready.
Silvio goes first.
Smash.
I only have to survive one attack, right?
Yes, you do.
Let's go!
I look at him and I go, like through telepathy, I'm like, are you sure you can do this?
Oh, don't doubt me. I rage and prepare.
Silvio casts
So this isn't the thing you
destructive
can
wave.
do during battle, but when you need to.
Silvio slams his sword into the ground. A massive wave is thrown at Girk. Girk, I need you to roll me a Constitution save.
14.
What is this? I'm trying to remember.
That's all at the top. I believe yours is 17. I don't make it.
Oh. So,
Gurk's fucking ready.
plus 5d6 thunder and 5d6 radiant.
Gurk is fucking ready.
Are you okay, Kevin?
Gurk is fucking ready.
There's the 19 thunder, the 15 radiant damage, and you're knocked prone.
Oh, here we go, Devin.
Alright. And with that, because of my rage, I stop at 1 health.
Silvio looks on impressed. He looks out to the rest of you. Who's next?
I'm sitting there just kind of
I'm
like
just gonna
holding
jump
my
up.
ale.
Yeah!
And then Girk falls forward.
Why?
Just casually, it's like,
I'm still fueled by adrenaline so far.
imagine when that wears off.
Punch this wall.
The rest of the damage finally just comes into him. It's like,
I don't know, I stay at 1 health. I just. Yeah!
okay. You don't gain any experience, but you're alive.
I just.
So now it's my turn. I finally walk up and hug him.
Silvio panics and backs off. You win the fight. Silvio just says, "Okay, you pass. Now let go."
I walk away.
You just hear me say, dwarf.
Don't you do it, sword.
Grab my hand.
Looks at you unsure and reaches.
Now kiss me.
I'm gonna fucking fail this. I'm gonna attempt to charm Dakota.
Don't you fucking dare.
Do it. Roll to charm.
I believe it's a save. Wisdom save? To charm?
You know what? Roll anyway, but you roll a save. Let's see what happens here.
Most forms of possession is a wisdom save.
Okay.
Against your
It's
spell.
DC 15.
Okay.
I think that's what it was.
Well, you two are rolling.
Are you okay, Dakota?
What did you roll? What did you roll, Dakota?
Fucking that one! I rolled a 2! Add your wisdom, bro. That's only 3. So, I take control of him, and I walk up to Silvio and I go, "We're ready." Holding a giant great axe.
I'd like to let him. You got this.
In my mind, you just hear me cussing you out of Dwarvish the entire fucking time.
I just turn around and Draconic and start cussing you out.
Draconic.
I don't know what to say!
As well? You know Draconic as well?
Oh no!
All right.
The dragon can't wield me as well as you can, so I just kind of figured. Also, what's your class? I need to know this.
He's a dwarf.
I am.
He is a secret tongue.
All right. So, roll. Thank
Oh,
you.
you're good.
Yeah, I have.
Thank you,
basically all the
Devin,
bases.
for helping me make Silvio's page.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I am
This
master of all like
is so
close combat
great.
weaponry,
And
basically.
wasn't that only a 4th level spell? Or was that a 5th?
I think that was his 5th level.
Okay. That's a radius. Which means it does hit all of us.
Well,
at this
you're
point,
coming
though-
into the ring one by one.
Okay.
At this point, though,
Garita.
I would like to point out that an inventor has given me this weapon, and I am now putting full faith in that inventor.
Get me fucking killed. I swear to God.
It's okay.
Roll initiative.
I'm
I
still
survived
taking
on
the
my own.
full damage of the attack, so
You have
don't
range.
worry.
Addison,
Roll initiative,
Addison, do you want to know why I threw you away?
guys.
Why?
Just because I knew I could take it. I didn't know if you could. Because I knew that if I brought you in, I wouldn't die. Because any extra damage goes to you.
I rolled a 5.
So Dakota,
Dakota,
you'll be
roll.
fine.
Roll initiative.
What's your initiative bonus? Is it a
You're
+2?
being possessed right now. You're his bitch.
I got a 5 as well.
Okay. Well, we both suck ass.
Oh wait, that's still in the 5 mode.
Yeah.
Okay, Silvio goes first. Okay, Silvio goes first.
What is your health, friend?
I have a max of 10 HP.
Don't forget, Addison, if you use your ability, you tank it all, remember?
I know.
You don't need to worry about his health. You need to worry about
I
yours.
just need to.
What's
yeah,
your
that's
health?
Right. My health is 13.
He
That's-
throws a suit of armor that gives temporary HP. Once that HP is broken, all excess damage goes to him.
So
So
not
you'll
gonna
be
die.
completely fine.
Yeah, you're gonna be fine.
You're just a vessel so he can use said suit of armor.
Yeah, that's really all I need.
And a dragon is
So
an
throw
advantage.
what you have at me. I'm not ready.
Okay. Cast Destructive Wave, slamming his sword into the ground again.
Okay.
It's Dakota that makes the save throw.
Dakota, make the saving throw.
That's just a D20.
You gotta beat me.
What was it?
Is it a Constitution?
It's a save.
It's a con save.
Yeah.
17.
Okay, roll it a +4.
I believe so. Scroll all the way up.
He takes my traits in Dark
Yeah,
Weapon
that's
form.
spellcasting.
I got an 18.
The one in parentheses.
So an 18.
Yeah.
Did you roll a +4?
Charisma
Okay.
plus.
We rolled an 18.
Oh, and then it's plus whatever that, right? So does that add to the roll?
Nope. So
No?
in spellcasting,
Or does that add? I don't know. Hang on.
the number in parentheses. So 19. Oh.
Thank God.
Oh,
the
it's
roll was in
19?
trash.
Yep.
Oh!
He has to hit a 19.
He had to hit
succeed.
19.
I was one off.
So,
Damn.
hold on.
Anderson's like, please.
So for me, they would have to hit 11.
I like to imagine just this wave barreling at you and Dakota's character. You have a plan, right? Please?
Yep. Explosions.
Okay.
Rupert, don't fail me now!
What's your constitution? Fucking make it. Because he adds a +1.
Because he gains,
Yeah, because that'll give him a con bonus of
he
one
gains,
more.
he gains the benefits of me, essentially, when rolling with my stats. But Dark Weapon lets me add it for saves.
Yeah, because 12 gives you a +1.
We are literally neck and neck with the target number.
Just barely, you're able to brush off the attack.
Woohoo!
You didn't
Oh no,
kill
it only
me.
halves the damage.
Oh, that's right. It does only have the damage. Let me sort of
Okay, you're still looking to chop through 18 health.
with Silvio's stats.
The 20th level character.
18 is the first number. So half that is 9. The next one is
Alright. Keep in mind.
11.
It's 9 plus 11.
9 plus half 11.
Round down.
Oh.
I already rounded it down.
Alright, so damage is currently at 20. And then you add on the other 11 of your spell
Oh, that's
casting
right.
bonus.
So that's
So
31.
32.
So yeah, I die. I'm let's see here. I'm down. Don't get me wrong.
Addison.
But I want to know if I
Addison.
die.
Addison, what's your max
No.
health?
My max health
Addison.
is 12.
Addison.
Yes.
Roll a flat d20.
You failed. You have failed your death save.
So the wave not.
Hold on. Sword spirit.
Guardians in disguise.
If this was
While
a
you are
being,
inside of your weapon, which I technically am because I'm possessing him, you have resistance to non-magical bludgeoning, piercing,
This is
slashing.
magical.
Am I getting hit by anything of that sort?
Nope! You're getting hit by radiant and
Magic.
fire damage.
That was lightning damage.
lightning damage.
Oh, lightning damage? Okay. That's
Radiant
right.
and lightning damage. It's all magic.
No.
You want to know what's the best part
I'm
about
going
this,
to
Addison?
tank this, but I need you guys to know that I can just cuck him as a bonus action.
Addison, I
And
want
leave
you to
the weapon.
I want you to recognize this is doing 2 damage over what it takes to fully kill you.
Is this including the +6?
Yes.
No, don't you fucking dare.
What if I left my weapon?
Don't you fucking dare.
You are both hit before you have a chance to react.
Damn it.
Being hit with non-lethal damage, sending you flying from the ring.
just fucking hit the wall, wailing with laughter.
The impact is so violent, it knocks you out, separating of his
I was
hands.
about to say, you
separating
are
them.
unconscious.
Separating.
If this
you
is
both.
non-lethal damage, you are unconscious.
When I don't lose consciousness per se, so much as I just retreat to my fucking sword.
Let's go off on a limb and say you just lost consciousness, and you've never experienced this before.
Addison's sword form, by the way, hitting the wall, it bounces a couple of times before finally landing perfectly aligned with the wall.
I would like to pick it up. God? Bertha?
God, a literal God, is just striking down upon it too.
Thank you, Dakota. And with that, you pass, because you survived.
I sit up immediately,
I-
grab
No,
the
it's
sword
the
out
dragon's
of... I
turn.
immediately get up, grab the sword out of his hands,
Don't worry.
and yeet you across the
You're
arena.
lucky.
Saying,
Because he
"Fuck
just used
you."
the only two of those he had. Now he's on the
Yay.
4th level spells.
Oh no.
Which I believe he has
I
one that's
feel
almost
kinda
just as
weird.
powerful.
Silvio kind of looks at you. I don't feel like that should count for you. You were more or less possessed.
Don't get me wrong, Sylvia. I wanted nothing to do with that. Seeing as you could have easily killed us.
That would not have killed you. None of these attacks are meant to maim. They're just meant to sting. He says
Mine
with kind of a
I
he
don't-
says with kind of a shrug. The moment he finishes, one of the pillars slowly starts falling over and collapses in on itself.
Just Kirk, mine hurts.
Kirk's over here. Kirk's over here. Adrenaline finally wearing off. Ah!
You're like at fucking work. I need to sit down.
Like
I just sit down with the great axe in my lap, slowly just. Oh, that hurts now.
I sit there and I'm like, it didn't help that you slammed me into the wall, Sylvia, where I got shot by the crossbow bolt.
He looks over to you. Well, I guess that just leaves you.
I grab the fucking
You got this, Kenny. You
hammer and
can't use
throw
weight
him
of
into the
destruction
ring.
again.
Go get him, Tiger!
I entered the arena reluctantly
All right.
after seeing the destruction of my two friends.
Kirk is fine. It just pains.
Kenny, roll initiative.
That way.
Initiative's just d20 plus what again?
Dex.
Aha! 14.
Sylvia goes first.
Of course.
Got this. I would like to say I honestly thought I would start out with more health.
Sounds like it's just a normal day, but except you guys have sticks in front of you.
Sylvia casts Guardian of Faith.
Oh no.
Are you scared?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He snaps his fingers, and a giant golem appears before him, before you, brandishing the symbol of the Silver Knights on him.
Don't walk toward it.
Silvio, as an added bonus, jumps on its head. Kenny, go ahead.
You've got this, Kenny. Use your dragon powers.
Go bite him.
I also have breath weapon.
That could help you stay out of range.
15 feet.
Yeah, that
Staying
stays out
within
of
15
range.
feet?
It's a 10-foot range for the Guardian.
Hang on. 30 foot.
It's 30 foot. I forgot that.
How close is the Guardian to me?
Wait, what did he potentially
Wait,
be?
you took
Wait.
cover instead of aim?
Uh-oh. Oh, one cam's down.
Was there a choice?
There is for Draconic. I don't know if there is for this.
I think this is the only one that popped up.
Okay.
But yeah,
yeah,
no, it's 30 feet, and there's a chance that the ring is only a 10-foot radius.
Huh?
There's a chance the ring is probably only about 10 feet wide. 10
For
feet.
the 10-foot breadth? For the
No.
30-foot breadth?
What are you
Or
talking?
for the goal? I'm talking about breath weapon right
Mine
now.
is 15 feet.
I was answering.
so-
Damn it! I was answering the question about the ring size. It's probably only grand total of 10 foot.
Oh,
So I should be able to shoot you with my breath weapon.
Yeah, but you're also in range of the golem,
The punch
which means
punch.
the start of your turn it swings at you.
Oh shit. So I have to do a save.
No.
I get
So wait, it is the start of your turn. Roll save.
Which save?
Hang on. Iridian dance on the save.
I
A
failed.
dex save.
I got 6.
You automatically take 20 damage.
Woo!
And Kenny's unconscious again.
He just
Whoa, I
came back,
just woke
man!
up. At least I didn't explode this time.
Golem smacks you into the wall nearby. Just as this battle ends, there is a volatile bang, and Sylvia was knocked off of the golem's head and knocked violently into the ground as a sword comes ricocheting back around and Obsidian catches it. Look, I get we're pressed for time. Is that any reason to pick on the new guys?
I'm okay.
Silvio gets up.
Ow!
You are literally the embodiment of a killjoy.
I regain consciousness and just fucking roar with laughter.
I'm sitting there just leaning against the wall because of the pain in my arm. Can I get somebody to patch up my shoulder, please?
Silvio snaps his fingers. You're all back up again, full health. Woo.
I need a fucking nap.
I second that notion.
Dirk need a damn sleep. All
That's the
right,
second
we'll
time
count that as a
passed
pass.
out.
You all did fine.
I stayed conscious.
Can I go get an ale now?
You're all free for the day. Go ahead and spend. Kurt, lights out is at 11:30. He says, and then snaps his fingers and disappears. It
Did
is
Sylvia
currently-
say that?
Yes, and disappears.
Oh shit! I was gonna ask him if I could go see Reaper
You can do whatever you
or
want.
see the source of.
It's
I'm gonna
like-
go to the source of the explosion.
I follow.
I second the motion.
So you all
We're
go to
all
the
pretty
source of the
curious about the
explosions.
source of explosions.
I like exploring explosions.
In the back,
Do you still like
there is
exploring
an
explosions?
iron door. This
Explosions are fun.
Dakota, roll for me. Roll like their knowledge on not just like
It just
I
his
know-
knowledge is only over stonework.
I'm aware, but roll
Okay.
for me anyway.
17.
He's gonna get a tiny taste of Rupert, huh?
The stonework on this is absolutely impeccable around the door.
I can respect him.
The
I
door
want-
itself looks like it shouldn't be able to move under any circumstance.
I would like to open the door.
You go for the door.
I go for the door.
The moment you grab the door, it along with you are sent flying back into
He's
the
a
main
Goliath.
hall.
He doesn't get sent flying.
Oh, I can
Yes, he
still be
does.
sent flying.
Oh yes, he does.
I immediately drop to the deck to avoid.
As the explosion
Now,
once
quick-
again rocks the guild.
Quick thing: how's Moral gonna react to seeing me phase out of a sword?
Would he
Well,
consider
you're
that
about
an
to
illusion?
find
the
out.
thing that he hates?
You're about to find
Wouldn't
out.
Moral consider that an illusion?
You guys enter the now
I-
open workshop.
Yes, he would.
Yes.
He would panic.
He doesn't like illusions.
Not
I
at all.
remember
So,
what
do
happened
you
when
catch
I
up with the
said-
group again and enter the workshop?
Yes.
You enter the workshop.
I'm
Despite
in
the
physical
violent
form right now.
explosion that sent him flying, it's relatively clean.
Cool.
Floor is well kept. All the tools are all on the shelves in safe places, and there is a great sword the size. What's your character's name again? It's so simple yet I just blanked on it.
Gurk.
Gurk. There's a great sword the size of Dirk sitting on a shelf nearby.
I walk up to it and just start looking at it.
Rupert jumps in front of you. No touchy. No touchy.
I back off and I go. I
This
pop
is
my,
not done yet.
I pop my axe out and I go. This tasted great.
So you ate that. There's a 75% chance that could have killed you.
What does it do?
Rupert kind of looks at you.
I explain him in a very serious tone. It appears that once I understand what the weapon does, I can put it on other stuff. You don't
While you
understand,
guys are talking
do you?
about this,
Not in the slightest.
We'll
Cody,
figure this out
while they're
together.
talking about this, I would like to just grab the sword the size of me.
As you do, it starts shocking you.
I would like to pick it up anyway. Keep in mind, I am going to be an electric barbarian. This could build into
Rupert
that.
jumps up, grabs it out of your hand, and pulls it away from you, and somehow is able to hold it better than you were. Please stop messing with my very delicate and very breakable equipment. He sets it down and treats it gentler than anything you've seen up to this man up to this point, and brushes it ever so gently off.
But it
I'll
looks
walk
so
up to one
fun.
of Rupert's machines and just flick it, looking at it weirdly like, what is this contraption?
He looks over. Don't.
All right, little gnome.
So you're a craftsman.
That I am. I'm one of the best.
You ever made any sentient objects?
I've had let's say dabbled and leave it at that. He hears a small you hear a voice. Are you talking about the thing you keep behind the dresser? Quiet, you! And something immediately dashes and hides behind a mirror. Fucking idiot. Really annoying lately.
Would that be the morale fellow I've heard so much about?
Oh, that's right. You haven't met him yet. Hey! Come here. No! Fine. You yelled at me! For the love of... He walks over, grabs a mirror. Grabs a mirror off the wall and throws it. It landing and it landing. Get out! A head pops out of the mirror looking at all of you. Hello.
I'm gonna pick up the mirror.
He freaks out and jumps back in. Oh, for the love of... He puts it down and grabs what looks like an extendo claw and just sticks it in the mirror. It's somehow going through. He's like fishing around. Finally, you see him smirk and yank and pull Moral out. You fucking fish. Him flopping like around like one. Will you calm
I
down?
mean, he's a doppelganger.
Will you calm down? They're with us. I think. I'm still confused about the big one.
It's magic.
This is my assistant, Moral. Moral, these are our new recruits.
I'm Girk.
Hi.
Hello,
He is
Morale. My
Henry.
name is Dane.
My name is.
Are you in your human form, or are you?
I am a human form. Yeah.
That's a weird name.
It is. It's a weird person who gave it to me.
You remind me of someone. Don't know who. He just kind of says that and looking at you. But yeah, there's this thing behind the bookshelf, and then all of a sudden this shield slams him back on top of him. And we're done with him. Anyway, I am busy. Is there anything I can help you with?
I want to know what's behind the bookshelf.
Ah, fuck. There's nothing of importance behind the bookshelf.
I don't want to know what's
I do a
behind the bookshelf.
perception check.
I immediately, with my dwarven stature, the tower over him, I stand over him. What's behind this fucking bookshelf?
He looks up at
Gnomes are shorter than a fucking.
I
looks up at-
tower over him.
I'm still taller than him, so I'm kind of looking
He
down.
looks
at
up
him.
at you, not even flinching. I ain't gonna open it for shit, and I sure as hell ain't about to open it for some puffed up dwarf who thinks he's better than us.
What if I agree to eat any weapon you give me?
What if I agreed to eat any weapon you give me?
We'll talk about it later.
Wait,
I'm no longer interested.
Rupert. What if I agreed to eat any weapon you gave me?
I come
looks
to
over.
Spawning the axe.
I don't think you can do that. He then looks at you a little longer. However, he starts kind of circling you, poking at your body.
Tickles.
Him?
Yes. Tell me, how much punishment can he take?
I survived one of Silvio's blasts.
Oh, he'll do. He says, an honest-to-God, terrifying smile spreading on his face. He'll do just fine.
Or there's always the Gurk response of the Silver Man hit me with a large beam.
Oh, perfect. You don't even know what's happening.
I
think we can
with it too.
I
think we can
not
make it
to
hurt a
mention,
more.
not to mention,
I think we can make an
he
agreement.
just watched me pick up his lightning sword without much of a flinch.
He walks over and very gently bumps the bookshelf, which slides back and reveals what looks like a safe. This is where I... Voice crack for the win, yo. This is where I keep more of my volatile creations.
Sounds fun.
I also typically don't ever release them for that particular reason.
What's volatile mean?
Boom. Knowing this man.
Okay.
You're mad because you know he's not wrong.
I don't know why I heard that and I immediately just thought Rico. Kaboom.
Did somebody say boom?
Hey, you.
Oh.
Spits a bomb.
Anyway, I am under orders to keep these under lock. My last real dabbling with creating anything living was with one of our more recent recruits, and it was easier because my first endeavor into it isn't exactly something I'm fond of.
What's endeavor mean?
It's a superhero, I think.
He looks at you and goes, okay, you need to shut up.
I'll look at Rupert and tell him, I hope you will appreciate our big oath helping you with research.
Oh, trust me, I'm gonna make sure you guys pay me back for what I'm about to show you. He grabs the lock, not even bothering to look, and just spins it. It spins, turns sideways, and disappears within the vault door, and then opens.
Some locking mechanism you got there.
He goes, "Oh, trust me, that's just the first safeguard." He says as he just struts in.
I would like to... How big is this entry?
It's
Rupert sized?
it's maybe 2-3 feet taller than Rupert.
Oh.
How tall is Rupert?
A gnome.
About.
I'm gonna just start army crawling through it. It's safe.
I casually can just follow him in his
I
suit.
can follow anybody.
Oh shit, you're a dragon.
I'm a small dragon.
As he walks with you guys, he goes,
I'm
look, not even most of the other members of the guild have seen this. So, what you guys see here, and you cannot tell Silvio I'm showing you guys this. He'll have my head.
I have a head.
We'll see for
So
how
do
long.
I.
He just says we'll see for how long with a wicked smirk as he continues walking forward.
I'm still
I
crawling.
instinctively ready my gun.
I can't ready shit. I'm crawling.
See, he gets to the end of the hall that just looks like this a stone wall. And then all of a sudden, it's just like there's like what looks like a small slit open on the wall and a pair of eyes. Password is password 1. The small little
course.
hatch opens. He walks in. As you guys pass through, you see what's standing on the other side. It's literally a little robot machine. However, looks at you. It's looking at you. And then just looks back at its original opening. Ignore that. Sometimes it says weird shit. Once you get to the end of this actually fairly long corridor, this place is bigger than Etheria itself. Lined with weapons.
I wish to eat.
And lined with cells.
No, I can't devour sentient weapons. That's a thing.
Welcome to the dark room.
I can see in here. Not too
He
dark.
points out one of the weapons. That one over there was made for Braun. Braun. The first initial plan was for it to be a sword shield combination. It worked for a day. And then it started eating people. Just literally eating people. When
Not
anyone
even
slashed through
live.
it, starts dissolving. And I'm talking really anything slashed by it. Even matter.
I would like to put
It'll
Addison next
probably
to it.
slash through you.
I pick up Addison and start walking toward it.
I offer no resistance.
My moral compass tells me to be better than this.
I slash Addison at it.
Rupert jumps up and easily sit out of the air. Anyway, aside from the reality-eating sword, we're moving on to the next one.
Aside from the reality-eating sword,
As you guys walk past a cell, you see something in there. It looks like a scythe at first.
Can I bug it?
There's a scythe sitting in a cell. As you get closer, it looks like there's a weird ring around the base of the collar. Around the base of it. Then whispers, "Help," before Rupert quickly gets behind you guys. Okay, we're moving along. Nothing to see back here.
Wanted help.
There's nothing in there to help. It's just a scythe.
Okay.
Nothing else.
I look after Rupert with a quite curious look and look back to the scythe and continue to follow, keeping an eye on Rupert very closely.
The next one he shows you guys appears to be an arm cannon. So this was also meant to be for Braun. It was meant to be a tank obliteration device. Again, it worked well actually. A lot longer than my other ones. Lasted a month. And then a little kid tried to put it on. And
There's no more little kid.
oh no, there's still a little kid. We just he's somewhere else in here. And he's on the he's at the end of the room.
And the end of that room.
He kind of keeps walking. As he continues, he quickly stops you guys and quickly ushers you all into a cell with him. Everyone, shut the fuck up.
What's happening?
As you guys are standing in the cell, you hear footsteps. Silvio alongside Obsidian walk past. Is containment still stable? Yeah. How long will it be stable? Probably another month at best if we're careful. Damn it.
I would like to ask, what is stable?
Rupert? Yeah? I have a very important question for you. I have a potentially viable answer. Explain to me why our new recruits who I still am not completely sure should be seeing any of this hazardous material. You are currently showing some of our most hazardous material.
We followed you.
He looks at you, very unamused.
Look, a distraction.
He looks right at you now.
Oh, fuck.
I place a hand on the dragon and like, shut the fuck up.
He looks at all of you now. What you've seen in here, you will forget about.
Shiny.
Okay.
Good. He looks at you. Don't even consider it.
Don't worry. I'm not looking to bite off more than I can chew.
He looks at you and says, "Good." He takes a piece of his armor, breaks it off himself, and throws it at the sword you're all thinking about. It violently gets devoured by the sword. I would not touch it. He looks over at Rupert. You were about to show them Subject X, weren't you? No?
I was curious, so I asked.
Silvio sighs and then gestures for you four to follow. Well, he's already shown you this much. As Rupert follows, Obsidian just whacks him with the other side of his sword, knocking him out of the room entirely.
I look at Silvio and I say, I apologize. It seems like a, what do you call it? A viable topic, granted what I am.
understand, but there's a reason I keep these artifacts and items locked away. I don't, because they're not all just Rupert's creations. The first two, yes, and honestly, there's even some things in here I'm very uncertain about. He gestures over, for example, that last cell with the scythe, and he keeps telling me that it's nothing to worry about, and I trust him.
I want to eat it.
Look, I'm fairly certain that thing is also alive, so
Damn
I
it.
wouldn't.
I can't eat anything alive.
Anyway, he walks over. He walks to the end of the hall. The door on the end of this thing is massive. Easily 16 feet tall.
I don't have to crawl.
It's also barred shut.
Casually, Garrick walks through trying to jump to touch the. Like a high schooler, middle schooler.
This is something I requested Rupert to build for me back when we first met. This was supposed to help during the war. However, I very quickly
Everything
couldn't
changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
an Avatar reference and one that they continue to make when we stream, no matter what.
Any game, including D&D.
I would like to knock on the door.
You knock on the door.
Yes.
You sure enough knock on the door. Something very bigger than you knocks back.
Knock, knock, knock.
I want to
Knock.
hug it.
Knock, knock.
Julio goes, no one is permitted but me in here.
Can you give it a hug for me?
I'm not touching that thing.
I look at Silvio out of pure curiosity. Entering my sword, could you make an exception?
I won't open this door, but I can do this. He holds his crest up, which glows, the door becoming intangible. Behind it appears to be a half machine, half organic material.
Is that the boy?
Also, I was just referring to he could carry me inside and I would just be able to sense what it is.
This is what happened as a result of that experiment. Originally, I didn't think anything of it. It was common in the world Rupert comes from. He himself was experimented on before I got to him. He began growing over time. The subject began growing over time, so we assumed maybe it was just fitting the need. Silvio looks down. Obsidian, in a rare moment, puts his hand on his shoulder. It's best we don't finish this topic. Rupert, Silvio just kind of drops the barrier, hiding it again, and just walks away without another word. Once he's out of earshot, Obsidian looks at you. It had devoured Silvio's home.
I don't think it deserves a hug.
You'd be right, Kirk.
The worst part of it, his own brother rigged it to do it. This thing is a constant reminder of his betrayal. So it stays down here.
I ask, has Silvio thought of any ways to destroy it?
He's fired everything he could at it. I've been on the receiving end of his waves. Trust me, I know how strong they are. We took off pieces of this thing, chunk by chunk. It just kept coming back. Even deconstructing it down to the molecular level didn't seem to do shit. Whatever this thing is, it won't stop. So we keep it here. Is it risky keeping it below the city? Yeah. Where else can we put it?
In the upper levels.
The higher ups knew we had this thing. They'd take us all out.
They don't have a good opinion of the guild, do they?
far as they're concerned, we're the problem. You guys haven't seen the upper levels yet, have you?
We went to the stairs and found a rather unsavory individual walking up them.
You didn't give me a hug.
Well,
I suggest you get punted.
well. We could talk about what's up there on another day. For now, I think you guys have done and seen quite enough. He looks over to you. You there. There is something I need to ask you about in particular.
Hi.
Think Led is a very close friend of mine. Do you have something against him?
He's an elf. I'm a dwarf. What else is there?
His eyes narrow on you. You better be careful. We're a team here. You start not being able, and you don't accept it. You might not be here. And he turns his back to you. You might not be here much longer.
He doesn't cause me problems. I won't cause problems.
He just shakes his head and walks away. You have 10 minutes before this bunker closes down. I recommend getting out now.
How do I leave?
Same
I
way you
kinda-
came in, dumbass.
I don't remember how I got
I
it.
kind
You're
of,
on your own.
I kind of say to Silvio, I go, in Celestial, I say, you have a similar prejudice, don't you?
He stops. He stops just before the exit. He just kind of looks back and goes, "Is mine with?" And Celestial goes, "Mine isn't without reason." And leaves. So you guys are now. I'm going to say you guys are now out of the now locked vault.
I am going to seek out the nearest sword stand and do a thing.
Pass out effectively. You find. I assume Gert just carries you to the.
Honestly, fuck it. Girk carries me.
Sylvia walks up to you guys. So, I guess it's about time I show you guys where you'll be bunking.
Hooray!
She walks Gert to about a 9-foot door. This will be yours.
I carry the sword in with me.
There's a small sword stand nearby, and but there's no bed. Instead, there's just a cloth on the floor with a blanket and a pillow.
This is more than Girk gets, homie. Girk gets rock.
I was gonna say I set Addison down on the cloth and sleep next to him.
Is that actually what you do?
Yeah.
Sure as shit.
You really think so? Oh my god.
Drink straight rum just a moment ago. Straight rum.
Namri.
Kenny.
Oh.
She takes you to what looks like it looks like it's a dog door. Attached to an actual door. She opens the actual door in for you. There's what looked like a Doberman's dog bed. And honestly, and a small area with the thing that says Horde. And it has a little cave like design on it to make it look like a little horde cave. And lastly, yours. Points to what's your character's name? Dane. Walks you to the final room. It's just a regular looking room, similar to all the rest of the ones besides the two unique ones. Opening it, it's just kind of normal, except one small difference. A little stone statue. Dakota, roll stoneworking for me. Huh?
Got a 6.
Oh, alright, well you don't get to know then.
That would technically mean he rolls a 10.
Oh. Well, okay, I guess I could say this looks expertly made. Like even by normal standards, even by what you've seen thus far in the guild, this looks
Must have been made by a dwarf.
Yep,
as there are very few dwarves in the guild.
Look, none of us can get pizza. Unless you have a secret way of obtaining pizza. So no one can get pizza. So, you all have your bunks. You all have this chance to rest up. What do you do?
The rest of
So you all take your long rest? All right. Middle of the night. You all, this does count as your long rest. So you all are fine up.
I see this is a good pause point.
You want to stop there then?
It is
everything
18.
off with
Yeah,
all that info.
been going for.
All right.
Like,
Almost.
Do we want to stop here then?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess this is where we'll call it. There's not much going on in chat, so
no need to check in on that.
anyway, I think that's where we'll call it then for the night. We'll actually have to try to figure out a time, like a schedule for this kind of thing.
Yeah. We'll have another member join us eventually. Just don't know when he'll join us.
Casually, we do this every Sunday from now on. Fuck, I like. I mean, so far, this is a day that.
Today's Monday.
Today's Monday. Today's Sunday.
No.
It shows how my schedule brain is.
Oh wait, it is Sunday.
It
I was
is?
gonna
Ha!
say, Devin. Girk.
Gurk.
Switch your brain out, Devin. You're still
Turn
got
your
Gurk.
brain back
I know.
on. I mean, my brain might be off too.
I need a second to reset.
Anyway, guys, I think we'll stop there so that way everyone can actually
It's
reboot.
like I've been channeling my
So,
stupidity
are we
for
gonna
too
continue
long.
streaming
We have.
out
I've been
here?
channeling
I've
Gert
basically
for 4
tried to
hours.
use the
Next
we
time.
would spend today. Jesus.
I feel like we'll continue to do here at least until we figure out how
Okay.
this thing works, and then
Yeah,
we'll announce how it works for the next.
Oh, we'll have another stream here eventually. You guys will get notified by Prophet Cody on his channel or whatever.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Later, fuckers.
Have a good night, everybody.